Do y'all want to play some Dungeons and Dragons, yo?
I don't know. We're all here and stuff.
I've been chomping at the bit about this.
Cool.
I believe we can go back to talking to Book.
Last time on Check Please, the party met Queen Matilda of Daraham, who turned out to be a bit of an eccentric. And after being discouraged for a little bit, they were actually pointed to the real leader of Daraham, the strange entity known as Book, the leader of the intelligence services of Daraham. Book revealed a lot of information to the party, and they are currently still speaking. So you guys are in the main archive of the intelligence section in the palace, in the center of the city of Hale. There is a enormous tome on a pedestal in front of you. There are a lot of archivists moving around and checking things and generally being busy, whereas you guys are just sort of standing in this area in front of the pedestal having a conversation.
With a book.
With a book.
With a book.
Paper.
Is this all the information you require?
Well, do you know about the infernal text, the infernal glyph?
A fair bit. Do you have a specific question?
Well, let's say someone were to change one of the glyphs. What would happen in that kind of case?
As far as I understand the nature of that sort of magic, it is similar as if you were to change the glyphs on any sort of magic. Changing a glyph could result in any number of random effects that were not intended by the original spell creator.
Like what?
Anything from the destruction of the Tamperer to its empowerment, and anything in between. The magic would react randomly based on the new glyph being created once it was tampered with. And if it was being done by someone who did not quite understand what they were doing, then the effect would be randomized.
Is there any way to reverse that?
Perhaps there are certain magics that are capable of reversing anything, but one would have to know what to change, or at least have an idea of it. So, for example, were you to secure the power of a wish, you would be able to wish yourself back to how you were before the tampering. That would remove the necessity for finding out specifics. However, if you could find out specifics, you could use much more specialized and much more widely available magic to resolve the issue.
I see.
Soul paths, bearish.
Perhaps with more information I could be of more use.
I don't even know where to start with describing it. Just my memories are wrong, or I don't even know. It's like the actions were made by someone different than myself.
And these actions were taken after you had touched the glyph, or before?
They took place before I touched the glyph.
Ah, that is indicative of something indeed. If you were to have touched the glyph, and your actions seemed different to both yourself and those around you, that would be indicative of a mind control effect. However, if as you say, you feel that what has happened took place before you touched the glyph, that is indicative of something else entirely.
Well, what does it mean?
It could very well mean that you have had your personality altered in some way. You have had your mind altered in some way.
Are there any fields of magic that can change that?
Quite easily. Enchantment magic, specifically, can alter the way that one's mind works.
We could probably find that in the village, right? Book?
There are a number of enchanters that might be able to offer you assistance.
There, we'll get it fixed. Easy as a fruitcake.
Fruitcake?
Like me.
What?
Don't worry about it. We'll get you better, okay?
Thanks.
Got your back.
This MacGuffinite is found in this email.
That is correct.
If you are indicating that we should go, if you seem to know so much, you should know why going there would be difficult for us. Is there some sort of plan for this? Is there a contingency? Are we going at all?
Transport is being arranged as we speak. It will be ready tomorrow morning.
It's not transport is not the issue.
I don't think we were being followed prior, Lovette. He said we have a shadow now.
Well, it seems that they know much of goings on so well. I just thought they'd ask.
We weren't important yet.
Well, this seems to be recording information big and small.
Book, do you know that, Soul was going to just say it very bluntly, and now, like, realizing how uncouth or
Yeah, you got it.
untactful that is.
Oh, yeah, fair.
They're now like, ooh, what do I do? Are you...
Legal events in the Steam Isles recently. How close to tabs do you keep? If you don't mind me asking.
For example, let's say like a list of murderers.
That was out of game. That wasn't even a Vera voice.
My records in the Steam Isles are fairly intricate, as we have had a reasonable partnership with the gnomes in the past. You're referring to the murder charge that you have on you.
Jesus!
I suppose so. If he's a challenge, then
Well, luckily, the transport we have arranged should not require or necessitate your return to gnomish society.
Where exactly is the MacGuffinite?
The vein that we know of exists in the southern part of the Steam Isle.
I don't know about that. I don't know if we should do that. That sounds like maybe a bad idea.
What's
wrong with the south end?
This is just not gnomes.
There's not gnomes in most places, Lovette.
Well, no, but there's not mimics in most places, I saw. But it's always good to check.
Soul shudders at the mention of mimics.
You too, Soul?
Look, one almost ate me.
Oh, see?
What's a mimic?
Okay, a mimic
Everything can
is...
be
This is true. One looked like Grow, and it made me turn around, and I thought he was gonna kiss me, but instead it started eating me.
Wait, isn't that a changeling?
No. It's like a mimic's grosser. A changeling's like a person that just happens to be different things whenever they feel like it, right? A mimic wants to kill you.
They really don't like gnomes.
Is that because they're small?
No.
No, they can be big too. Greater mimics are even scarier than normal mimics.
Oh no, I meant the gnomes.
Oh.
I just assumed if you're talking about some kind of predator, it probably would find the gnome. I'm sorry.
Out of it. The assholes.
Agreed.
The animosity between mimics and gnomes is well documented.
So, all the MacGuffinite happens to be in the same exact place where all the mimics are? Is that right, Book?
More or less.
Great. Well, positive, we don't actually have to go to the town. Negative, we might fucking die.
Was there any way that we could deal with the mimics?
Ooh, they're weak to alcohol.
This is accurate.
Alcohol?
I threw alcohol at one and it started burning.
Oh, I just thought that was unrelated.
Yes, alcohol has a violent reaction to mimic flesh, causing it to boil off.
We'll have to stack up on that then.
Slowly, kind of slow head turn towards Karis.
I was just gonna say.
Karis, has a bottle of wine just, tucked in to a belt pouch and just kind of, puts her hands over it to kind of, shield it from the rest of you.
I'm just saying, if it's our last mode of defense. Karis.
She kind of squints at you all and says, well, if the magic and the weapons and the robot with us fail, then I guess you can use the wine.
Deal. I think Grow burned one pretty crispy one time. Vera, you're good at fire. That could probably help.
I am able to use fire, yes.
And, maybe we could try that one thing where you, move doors.
You say that?
Yeah. I do say that with my mouth and my tongue.
We'll talk about that later.
Okay. No pressure. I just know you can do it. I believe
Vera
in you.
just sighs.
I believe in you.
Does anyone else have anything to say to Book?
No, I'm done with my quest.
Look at
No question.
Go on.
So, you know if Glau is clear, and we may suspect that he has the location of Soul's home, and that he may make a move on that. We were wondering if you would know, or I was wondering if you would know, and how much time we have.
He can't predict the future.
No, but if this sort of thing is a prediction, so, based on player movements.
I have no reports of anything to do with that. I apologize. That is a gap.
It's fine. We'll figure it out. We always do.
We usually do.
Karis, do you want to ask the book anything?
She kind of like looks uncomfortable. She's like, "Are you sure?"
Of course.
Oh, okay. She kind of like timidly steps forward a little bit and looks at the giant book. She says, "Do you know where I could go to learn more, specifically about binding souls?" There's a bit of a pause, and the book answers, "That knowledge is forbidden."
What do you mean forbidden?
The binding of souls is considered too dangerous. The information regarding that has been blocked by the Queen
I
herself.
think we'll be the judge of what is too dangerous.
But
Sorry.
it's blocked by the Queen.
I cannot go against the will of my Creator.
So maybe we'll have to ask the queen sometime then.
We'll have to
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get plenty of answers out of her.
I have surmised why that may be the case. I believe that the Queen, upon attaining true lichdom, sealed away the knowledge as best she could to prevent others from taking the same path.
Interesting. So in a way she was protecting others.
Well, she was protecting herself. And
That has been her stated goal from the beginning, extending her life to protect the kingdom.
I like it.
Surely she can spell some information for those who really need it. Then.
It is
Well, we could
possible.
always ask her directly.
As I said, that is a knowledge that I am bound from sharing.
That's okay, Book. We forgive you.
Yes, you're not the good here.
I'm talking to an inanimate object and forgiving it. What the fuck?
Lovette is just like really nervous now that the book might be a mimic this whole time. Like, I didn't think about it until now, but the book could be a mimic.
A smart mimic.
A greater mimic.
They're all pretty shitty to me.
I guess that's it, unless you have more questions, Karis. I'm done personally. I have some things to take care of, but I'm good.
No, I'd rather not get the information from the Queen.
You sure?
She kind of like grits her teeth.
I know it is not really your preference, but if it is your only chance to save your sister,
Like she makes her hands into fists and says nothing.
we don't have to talk about this now. I think that the plan is to come back from this trip in one piece.
We'll see what we can do after that.
True.
We'll most likely be coming back here, so we'll deal with it then, I suppose.
And we'll do it together.
By the power of Grayskull.
And I'm leaving. I'm walking out of the library. Fuck that. So,
Oh, come on, we had a lot of information in here. Take a
this
look.
is true. No.
Don't start.
No. Don't do it. You're already really low on health, man.
It's true, this could kill you. Be careful.
What
Wait,
a fucking
yeah.
way for this campaign to go. We have like such a legit rapport. We've got such a strong story. One of the main characters dies because of a pun.
Best way to go.
Anyways, if we're all done, I think we should all, relax. Do some shopping throughout the town. Like, if we're coming back here eventually, it'd be good to kind of get to know it.
It's true. Markus, you should probably change up your sword a bit.
Yeah, make it a little better. And Lovette, I know you wanted to go clothing shopping.
Markus takes out his sword and said, "It's pointy."
But it could be better.
I might be able to snap that sword in half with my bare hand.
You're so
But it's
strong,
pointy.
Vera. So is her
What more
wit.
is it? Oh, what more does it need to be?
Oh, magical? Maybe it could be used to attack something more powerful than a squirrel?
Maybe it has a silver finish to it. Wait, is it already a silver cuirass? Is that what it's called? Cutlass.
No, it's a scimitar.
Scimitar. My bad.
No,
I
you
get
guys-
those two
Silver
mixed up.
scimitar.
Let's
No,
see.
it
No,
is
it's
a-
not a
It
gold.
is a bog standard scimitar. It is. I mean, it is masterwork. That's about it.
A scimitar, it's half human, half sword.
Jesus Christ.
Yes, I
Dude,
love it.
that's my backup character. Don't spoil it.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, I guess we'll go shopping, right?
yeah, I think that might be a good idea.
Might as well. We have a whole afternoon before our passage to Steam Isle comes here, so Let's get going.
Sounds
Let's
good.
get
I'll-
going.
I'm going to stay here for a little bit, and I'll meet up with you. Okay?
Okay. Soul starts walking out of the library / information area.
So you start leaving. Karis also kind of hangs behind without saying anything.
Soul is not
Right.
going to actually leave. They're going to stay by the door once they leave the area and then listen.
All right. Is anyone else leaving the room?
I'm going with the two of them as well.
Okay.
Markus,
So-
I think, will stick around in the room. He has some private questions.
Okay. So Markus has private
God damn it.
questions. And
Oh no, that's not going to work.
So Vera, Karis, and Markus are all three kind of like gesturing for the other ones to leave
Hey.
first.
Markus, don't you have a sword to enchant?
Vera, shouldn't you go and stick with Soul for a little while?
Karis, shouldn't you
Be
raise the
drinking?
dead?
Oh my god! Soul's like just at the door. Like they like wait until Lovette like comes around the corner, and then they're like ears to the door, and they're like, "Shh."
It's a Mexican standoff.
Look, it's obvious that we all have questions that we'd like to have answered in private. So
I will
how
let you go
about
first.
we take turns, and I'll wait, and then one of you can speak, and then the other two will wait, and we'll handle it.
I like that
rational
idea.
people. So the two of you can leave, and I can have a conversation with Book.
Damn.
Fine.
She
Vera will.
gives like a little like false curtsy at both of you. Thank you.
Okay. So
What's
Soul hears the two coming and casts invisibility on
I knew
themselves.
I fucking knew it.
Oh!
Wonderful.
You're not near me.
No. This is sense motive on Karis.
Oh, okay.
What? She was.
I feel like she's gonna burn that book.
She just sassed you guys. I mean, I don't know about that.
Burn the book? Why? Why would she do that?
She wants
I don't know.
information.
She doesn't just dislike magical shit. She just doesn't like undead.
Well, intelligent undead.
Yeah. She just doesn't like you, Markus.
But isn't
She fucking hates me.
isn't a living book basically an undead tree?
No.
I mean,
You know what? You know what?
that way,
You know
aren't we
what?
all just undead rocks.
Fuck it. I'm undoing all the damage I did to you, Vera. That's actually a good shower thought. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, so the two of you get out of earshot, and Karis walks up to the book and starts asking questions. About 5 minutes will pass, and she'll come out of the room, and she's got tears streaming down her face.
But you didn't even let me, like, sneak in there when everyone else left, because I'm
shit.
invisible!
Oh shit! Is that what you're wanting to do?
Put me in a secret room, goddammit!
All right, here we go.
I am in that place.
So
Okay.
where are you going? Why did you turn invisible? You left me alone.
All right, so
They are long gone while you're asking the air that.
Yeah.
Merci.
So basically, go ahead and give me a stealth check, please.
Okay.
One stealth check.
That's a 27.
Okay, it's actually a 47 because you're invisible.
All right. So
So you got-
superpowers.
Yes, you get that plus 20 to stealth. So you are currently at 47 stealth, and I'm going to go ahead and roll for Karis's perception. And it is impossible for Karis to detect you. Even at a nat 20, she can't. So you quietly walk into the room, and you listen. Karis starts launching into questions about lists, having book list off particularly powerful necromancers in various places and how far away they are, what their names are. She's committing them all to memory. She asks, since book won't divulge specifics of Binding Souls, she's trying to get leads on where to go next. She asks information about the cult that she was in. She asks information about basically her personal past, if anything was recorded, if the book has any idea who her family was before she was turned out on the street.
Uh-huh.
There's really no answers for anything that there's nothing that she's finding satisfying. Everything is sort of a problem. It's just there's no information for this, there's no recording for that. So she gets a handful of snippets of like names for people here and there, and then she finally asks if she's going insane or if she's actually managed to bond her sister's soul to herself, and the book doesn't have an answer for her, and she sort of just in tears turns and leaves the room.
Aww, that's so sad. I'm gonna stay here for each turn of like the other two, though.
Jesus, you terrible. All right, that's fine. Back to the
I'm
room.
just like sitting.
Oh, I know. All right.
Just enjoying the air.
Okay, so Karis leaves the room, like I said, with tears on her face, and that sort of leaves the stage open for whoever wants to go in next.
That's not very well boding. But if Markus is stepping up, I'll step in front of him.
All right, so Vera pops in next.
Book,
Yes,
how far back do your records go anyway?
roughly 1,000 years. Well, and then the historical records that have been added into me from that point, so a fair bit before that, but no highly detailed records. Those began roughly 1,000 years ago at the foundation of this institution.
Do you know about Mellifera's hive?
There have been some reports of Mellifera through the ages. Minor goddess, community.
Do you know how her previous hives have failed? I need to know. I need to make sure we don't make the same mistakes we've made in the past.
The reports that I have on the subject indicate that Mellifera would rise to prominence in an area and then be swiftly put down by other religious groups. The reasons stated in the reports were that Mellifera's cultists became violent, unruly, uncontrollable, generally anarchic. They would cease to pull down existing ordered structure, and they would often be defeated by said organized structure.
How do you defend against that?
Unknown.
Thank you. And Vera will walk out.
Alrighty. Alright, Vera walks out, and Markus is going to walk in. Alright, Markus, you walk into the room. The archivists are pretty much not paying attention to anything you're saying, so you're standing there in front of Book now, and you got the room.
Hi, Book.
Hello.
Given your knowledge, I don't know how often your reports have ever seen a lost soul before.
From time to time.
In your...
They're uncommon due to the difficulty in creating them.
As you mentioned, it takes a very high-level necromancer to be able to create one.
This is true.
Is there a record of necromancers currently known that I may seek that are powerful enough to create a being like me?
I did not expect to receive the same question twice.
Oh.
Very well. Okay, so at this point, Book will list off some names of people and list off places that you've never heard of, like far off, distant,
far-reaching places.
Yeah, far off reaching places, specific people. But none of them really ring a bell with you, and none of them have much associated weight or meaning to you. Not knowing anything about these regions. If you want to make a knowledge geography, if you have it.
Let's see. I have a knowledge, history, nature, nobility, planes, religion, arcana.
Not really.
I am not an accident, correct?
That would be impossible. Lost souls do not simply create themselves. They're created for specific purposes, and then once their purpose is finished, they diminish.
And there's no way... Is there a way to fight the purpose?
Unknown. It's never been documented before.
And it is not possible to consume lesser creatures to stave off the hunger, or to at least sustain me.
As it is understood, a lost soul must consume sapient souls. Were you to consume a lesser creature, it could destroy you, as it would pollute your mind.
Okay, Book. Unless there's any advice, I like advice. If you can give it. I know you often have to have direct questions, but
your situation is unlike any I've encountered in my entire existence. I find myself at something of a loss to advise. You're a being that, by all rights, should be single-minded and driven to its purpose. However, you do not know your purpose, and have somehow gained the trust of a number of people who seem willing to protect you. Perhaps your purpose will never become clear and you will simply exist on.
Well,
that may
don't
be
we
for
all?
the best.
How long do I have do you know how long I have if I don't consume?
The longest recorded survival of a lost soul held in captivity was 3 months.
Beardy, time check. How long has that been?
1 moment.
I guess it would be since Moira.
Yeah. It was sometime after November 4th.
And we're running on the clock. We're running on borrowed time. Oh, poor Markus.
So you figure you probably have until like mid-February.
And we're at December. And we're in the middle of December, right?
It's January 30th.
Oh, God.
So you've got about a month before you need to eat something.
And this is and if I do eat something, it will pollute who my character is, correct? Well, it'll essentially...
Right. In the same way that Moira did, where you received an influx of information about Moira's backstory and life and wants and likes and dislikes. Mm-hmm. Similar things would happen, yeah. Now, it's also possible that Moira was muted because they have been in a coma for so long. So it's possible if you were to eat a more conscious person, it would have a stronger effect on you.
Right.
It might change your personality even more distinctly.
And in doing so affect essentially my abilities, correct?
It could, yeah.
Oh, okay. Bugger. We got a month to figure something out. I don't want my character to die in many ways than one. Okay. I don't like change. Okay. Book. I hope Eden can guide me to something.
Perhaps. Eden is a powerful deity.
Is it possible Eden is potentially sustaining me?
That is unknown.
You're alright, Book. You're alright. Thank you so much for your help.
I wish you well.
Likewise.
Alright, you leave the room.
Alright. Yep.
Alright.
Man.
Markus walks out.
Oh my god!
Dude, listening to Keni react to everything and having no idea what's going on.
I'm sure it was a hootenanny hullabaloo.
Oh, Markus. Oh well, he's just gonna keep what he found out on the inside.
Right.
And
Really?
just smile.
Karis has already far left the room by the way.
Well, okay, but that's the thing is that you jumped in and out of the call real fast, and I wanted to say that I go to comfort her as fast as possible.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, in that case, she's kind of walking with purpose just to get out of the palace. Mm-hmm. And she notices you kind of walking up with her, and she's like, "What is it, Lovette?"
Kelly's, are you okay? I think I'm best at points. What's wrong?
I just need to get out of here for a minute. Do you want to come with me?
Yes.
Great. So the two of you walk out of the palace, and she goes to the closest bar she can find. And goes inside and just starts drinking. Instead of wine, she's going for liquor.
Ooh.
So she's going to get a couple of drinks in before she starts to talk to Lovette more closely. So while that is taking place, what's happening outside of the archive?
I'm staying in the archive until everyone leaves because I don't want anyone knowing that I was invisible and listening in on them.
I know you were invisible.
Vera was waiting for...
I thought you had left! Oh my god! No!
Vera was waiting outside for Markus because she assumes that Markus will get lost if they're looking for it by themselves.
Aw, that's so sweet!
It's adorable, thank you.
Is it sweet or is it dick move? One of the two.
It's kind of both.
Yeah.
It's a sweet dick.
It's very Vera.
It's very Vera.
It's a kind of sweet
It's
thing.
very, very Vera.
This is how Vera shows their affection.
By being a sweet dick.
I don't know about that, about sweet dick.
Put some honey on it.
Mmm.
Alright, we're
Hell
done with
yeah.
that.
Alright.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Markus looks a little heavy, but he's still smiling.
Well, I hope it went better for you.
As I say, tomorrow's another day.
That's always how it is.
Exactly. Tomorrow is another day. Well, I think I could be more useful if we can get me a little bit... Y'all say my pointy stick is not very good.
It's not very good.
It's pointy.
It is pointy, but
and it's sharp. I mean, look at this thing.
I see it. we should really get it worked. Let's find a place.
This is Vera being nice.
Yeah.
Let's go find a master worker.
Okay. So Vera and Markus will depart the area, and back in the archive room. One moment.
Oh.
Okay. Back in the archive room, As you're kind of like sitting there, like waiting for something to happen, out from a bookshelf, like from behind a bookshelf, will step Alec, and he walks up to Book, and he says, "You summoned me?" Book will continue. "Yes, Alec. Your next assignment is here. The group that was just recently in this room, you have been appointed to be their shadow." At this, Alec kind of like pinches the top of his nose and kind of lets out a long sigh. And he says, "Are you sure I can be of more use elsewhere? Shadow work is a bit beneath me, don't you think?" To this, Book will reply, "You have already established a rapport with them, so it would make logical sense for you to shadow them, and besides, I find it unlikely that their adventure will last much longer." At that, Alec, he stops pinching his nose and kind of like raises an eyebrow and says, "What do you mean?" Book is going to say, "Records of past altercations involving the Eight are rare, but in almost every altercation, heroes or adventurers or paragons that have attempted to fight them, even those of greater stature than these, have failed, sometimes quite miserably. Keep your distance."
Motherfucker.
"But we do not want to waste this opportunity, so make sure to document anything that happens." At that, Alec nods and says, "Of course." And then he kind of like gives them sort of a crisp salute and turns and walks out of the room.
I'm gonna wait, because I assume these floors are goddamn marble. But I'm gonna wait till he leaves. I'm going to make sure no one's seeing me. I'll dispel. I'm gonna grab a book. Just a random one. I don't know. Fucking How to Start a War.
Okay.
Just have that, and after he's out of that place, I'll start strolling out after him.
You just want to you want to grab a book and follow Alec?
I'm giving him some time before he leaves, so it doesn't seem too suspicious.
Sure, I'm just making sure. So you're still in...
There is only one exit out of this room, correct?
Okay, so you just... Yeah, there's only... Well, that you know of. So you said you dispelled the invisibility effect on yourself?
If I can make sure that no one's around that can see me.
I mean, Book's in the middle of the room.
Yeah, well, Book already probably knows I'm there.
Probably, yeah.
So, I'll dispel.
Okay. Alright, you end the invisibility effect.
Before I leave the room, I'm gonna look at Book real quick. And not even a question, just a statement. We're not going to lose. It's been done before.
This is true. It has been done once before. And I wish you the best, but records are what I'm made of.
I know. I'm gonna make a new one for you.
I look forward to receiving it.
Good. Soul has a bit more of a snappy step out of that area. Booking a single book about war in their hand. And they...
Stealing books now. Alright.
I'm borrowing it. I'll give it back to Alec. It's fine.
It's not a library.
I don't know. Okay. I still have it. I'm probably going to put it down the minute I leave that room, to be honest. No, someone will put it back.
Alright.
I exit the door.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm trying not to look huffy, but I mean, it's Soul, so they kind of wear their heart on their sleeve.
Yeah. So you leave the archive room and you are tailing Alec now.
Yep.
Okay, so you leave the room and you're kind of tailing behind Alec.
I'm not invisible, so he can definitely tell I'm there.
Oh yeah, and as soon as you do, he kind of like he gives you like just the narrowest side like glance, just so you know that he knows that you know.
Oh God.
But he's not really paying any attention. He keeps walking.
Then okay, I'll put that book down real quick and then keep following.
He kind of stops and turns, kind of gives you like a half smile. Yes?
I need to ask a favor of you.
What's on your mind?
There is going to be a point in my time where I'm going to be stuck in a village for quite a while, and I want to build up a service of spies in order to keep more tabs on the Eight so I can figure out more ways to defeat them.
That's very noble. And he kind of like looks to the left and looks to the right at all of the assembled people and infrastructure and offices and everything. He's like, it took about 1,000 years to put something like this together, to get it running.
But this is for everything.
It's true.
They didn't have you when they started.
No, they did not.
Soul starts to circle him, walking and chatting kind of thing.
He's just gonna kind of like ever so slightly move his head to follow you while you're in front of him, but when you're behind him, he just kind of looks back to, like, the middle distance.
And my group would be specifically made to follow these soon-to-be 6 individuals.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think the greatest person to train such a regimen would be probably the greatest spy as far as I can tell from this area. Everyone seems to care very much so about your opinion and your skill.
Well, I suppose...
And you would be compensated.
Well, compensation isn't exactly what I'm interested in.
Soul stops in front of him.
I have a duty that I'm sworn to uphold. I'm loyal to my queen, and I'm loyal to my country.
And I wouldn't stop you from that.
Except that you're asking me to start an entirely new intelligence organization for you personally.
No, for the betterment of the world.
Of course. I'll think on it. But understand that I can't have split loyalties, and my work is somewhat time-consuming.
Soul wants to be stubborn, but they look like they reconcile nonetheless by looking away.
He kind of chuckles.
Just want to make sure everyone's okay, even in my time of not being able to protect everyone, physically, at least.
Well, not that it's any of my business, but what exactly makes you incapable of doing this yourself?
Soul gives him a side eye, and then looks around, and then they kind of lean in and they're like, do you have somewhere private we can go?
He gets kind of a sly grin on his face, and he says, of course, this way.
Soul follows.
He ends up taking you down through some of the passageways and hallways until he comes to an office that is currently vacant. He opens the door and bows and waves you into the room. After you.
Okay, the flourishment is not needed. I will have enough of that in the future. Thank you, though.
Of course. So he follows you into the room and closes the door behind you. So tell me.
Can I just ask, you said it's like an office room. What does the office look like?
There is a long, thin window at the top of the room, so you can't really see out of it, but there's letting light in.
Okay.
So, like, passersby can't peer in. There is a desk in the center of the office with a chair behind it with its back to the wall. There is a simple door that is currently closed.
And I think he locked it, right?
He closed it behind you both. You didn't see if he locked it or not, but it's safe to assume that the door is locked.
Okay.
The room appears to be currently vacant, as there is no other accoutrement. It is simply a desk and a chair.
Gotcha. Not even bookshelves, huh?
No, everything else has been stripped.
Well, if we're gonna do this, I'm gonna at least sit on the desk. Not on the chair. On the desk.
On the desk, okay.
This is Soul style.
That makes sense.
So they're gonna lean back first and then eventually just sit down. They'll have one leg crossed over the other. And they just kind of look at him for a second.
He has an expectant expression on his face.
Alright. So, as a spy, I wonder how much you know about Presidium.
He kind of, like, waves his hand dismissively. He's like, there's lots of villages in the Emerald Forest. Am I supposed to have memorized every one of them?
No. I'm just seeing what you know, so I'm not repeating things that someone as well-esteemed as you would know.
He shrugs and says that the majority of his work has been in Parthenae, stopping different plots against the crown.
So you don't know. Alright. So, I am going to be inheriting a power. I'm guessing you know there is a barrier over our world currently keeping the enemy in, correct?
He kind of doesn't really give you much of a response. He tilts his head a little bit to the side and says,
I happen to be the next person who will keep said barrier up, and I will be unable to leave my home on the 20th, so I'm trying to get as many things done as possible in the meantime. However, I would like more access to the outside world, so I figured spies would help. But in general, that's why I'm going to be not around as much.
He nods. Makes sense, especially if you have a vested interest in defeating this enemy of yours.
Not just of mine, of the world.
He kind of, like, chuckles. That's kind of what everyone thinks about their enemy. It's always the biggest threat in the world, right?
You disagree?
He shrugs. I don't disagree. I simply have a different perspective.
So Soul has been, like, kind of leaned back on the desk, arms behind them, and had their, leg over and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Their legs go out, and instead move forward and perch their elbows on their legs and have their head perched on their hands now.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose you're right. I was just hoping in some way I could convince you to help me.
Well, I am awfully busy. I have a lot of different duties throughout the kingdom, sent on missions constantly.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I'm really more of an action-oriented member of this institution, so I don't know if I really have the time to settle down in any one place to do anything for very long, so...
I'm not asking you to settle. I simply asked for some assistance. I was going to let you come and go as you please.
Oh, I intend to.
Soul, looks up and raises their eyebrows at him.
Oh, it's a turn of phrase. So, I suppose I could be convinced to assist you, but I would have to hear your terms.
My term?
What are your terms? What are you offering me in return?
Well, I suppose I'd like to know what you want in life. Do you desire money? But from the way you dress, I assume you're well compensated enough currently.
Well, I don't really do this job for money. I do this job for, loyalty to the state. The Queen has given us a wonderful place to live, and I feel that it's my duty to repay however I can and attempt to maintain the life that we have.
Soul nods. Completely understandable. Then what is something that you're not getting out of this job currently that I could give you?
Sure, when you put it that way. I mean, I do meet quite a few people, and, the life of espionage is exciting, so I don't lack for that.
Soul doesn't understand this comment, but just is nodding along.
I suppose I don't really have many wants in life anymore. Between the work I get to do, the successes I get to have, and, the dalliances that I've made, it's an interesting life. I don't really want for much.
Their arms are crossed now, and they kind of look like they're starting to look defeated.
I suppose the question is, what are you willing to offer?
They kind of laugh to themselves for a second. To be honest, I've never made a deal like this, so I'm not sure what to offer. I was willing to offer plenty of money.
Kind of shrugs and makes a dismissive gesture.
I'm not done yet, okay? I'm going through a list here. You have no interest in setting up anywhere, so... Well, I could give you a summer home in our village easy, but I doubt you have much interest in that, to be honest.
It might be interesting to see the Elflands at least once.
Good training grounds there. And it would be free of charge. You would have anything you'd want pretty much there. Food, pretty much everything would be taken care of.
Anything, you say?
Yes.
Make a sense motive check.
Oh, that's my worst check, though.
A sense motive followed by a perception. Perhaps it's perception followed by sense motive.
Okay, which one do you want me to do first?
Perception.
That's a 27.
He kind of looks you up and down.
Okay, then I guess I'll sense motive. Oh my god, that's a 24! That's
24.
my best!
You feel like what he was suggesting by saying anything was that perhaps he's not interested in monetary reward.
I see. Well, I did this to get our cart back. So the ends justify the means. Soul swallows hard and just kind of looks at him for a bit. They're obviously deciding.
He sort of is unsure what you're thinking. As he's watching you sort of think, he quickly changes gears and he says, I didn't mean to imply any sort of requirement or force. You see, typically in my line of work, that's simply another tool in one's arsenal.
I see. But is that what you want?
He'll reach a hand out and brush it across your cheek, down your ear, and he says, well, I mean, you are quite the looker. But I suppose if you're...
Soul's blushing.
But I suppose if you're not available in that way, then I certainly wouldn't push you.
Technically I'd have to ask people, but...
At that, he's going to say, oh, I didn't realize you were spoken for. My apologies.
Well, part of the protectorship does involve being engaged to someone to continue the bloodline.
Ah, is this a marriage by choice, or is this a arranged marriage?
Both.
Well, aren't you lucky?
However, I'm not entirely opposed.
I see.
So you know. And Soul starts to look away now.
And get a little bit more blushy, probably?
Yep.
You see the faintest smile kind of spread, like a little smirk on his face. Very interesting. I find your offer intriguing, Soul. But where are my manners? I believe I owe you the opportunity to tie me up.
Soul kind of like looks excited for a second because they don't get his implication at all. You did. Yes, you did. You are technically my prisoner. You agreed to such.
Well, then perhaps when I visit your homeland, I may have to take you up on that.
Agreed. Although, I don't know how good you'll be at teaching if you're tied up.
You'd be surprised.
Alright. Notably, I was tied up once, and I was able to escape. How good are you at escaping rope?
He kind of like leans in. He says, I am a spy, you know. Comes to the territory. Besides, I also have a few tricks up my sleeve. Ones that were bestowed upon me by my queen, so it makes things like that a bit easier.
Soul looks very intrigued, actually.
Well, that is until
Can you show me?
That is until they put you in mage gauntlets. But
I helped with that part.
That you did, and I am still grateful.
And that's why you're still my prisoner. Soul kind of leans forward a little bit when they said that, just mostly for teasing because it's Soul.
He's going to lean forward as well, and so he gets relatively close to your face. He leans in and says, perhaps you'll have to tie me up sooner than later.
I mean, if that's what you want, sure. I'm all good for learning.
And I'm happy to teach.
Oh, Soul looks very pleased at this. At first they got nervous about the closeness, but now their mind's, like, in a success mode currently.
Yeah, he's still, like, leaned in very close to your face.
Yeah.
He's going to misunderstand your response as consent, and he's going to move in for a kiss.
I see.
You say that? Or are you just saying
that? This is me as a player.
Okay, I wasn't sure if Soul was going to, like, try to talk through the kiss and be like, I see.
No. So that happens.
Mm-hmm.
What would Soul's body language do? So they were leaned forward slightly.
Mm-hmm.
So they're probably going to wait a second, because their brain's probably registering what's happening currently.
Mm-hmm.
And then they jolt back, but not entirely back. Just like a little bit. A reflex currently.
Yeah.
And then they like just look really, really surprised, but they don't move past that.
Alright, so do you move back far enough to break the kiss, or are you more like leaning back?
They just lean back. I think they're in shock currently.
A few seconds will pass, and then he breaks the kiss and stands back up.
Huh. Okay. I think I'm stupid.
Is that what Soul says?
Yeah.
Pardon?
I think I'm really dense.
He sort of kind of gives a look to the left and right as if someone's playing a prank on him.
I'm sorry. It was very nice. I was just very surprised.
Didn't you say? Uh-huh. So, now he looks somewhat embarrassed, which is the first time you've seen him sort of blush a little bit.
Interesting.
I seem to have misread the situation.
No, you're good. You're good. I was really excited to have you on my team, to be honest. And it wasn't bad either. I'm just really bad at following signs, I think.
See, so I'll be more direct in the future. It's very much part of my job to practice in subtleties. So I didn't mean to confuse you.
Now Soul looks even more confused. What? So the kiss was what?
I thought that you were flirting with me back, and I kissed you because of that. I realize now that you weren't, and I apologize.
You're forgiven. Yeah, we're okay, Alec.
Well, good.
So it's just two idiots sitting in a room looking embarrassed at each other.
I mean, do you want to call him an idiot? I don't know. I mean, he just was making inferences about tying things up in a different context, and Soul just was totally oblivious. But
because that's Soul.
That's Soul, exactly. It's wonderful, beautiful, stupid Soul.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Perhaps.
Look, Alec.
Yes.
It was a nice kiss. I appreciated it. Notably, the last time I was kissed, someone just confessed that they loved me, so that was a bit much recently. So,
I see. You must have quite a few admirers then.
Soul just makes that noise and then just has a really 100-yard long stare. One is not supposed to say they have a lot of admirers,
No
as far as I know.
There's no shame in it at all. It's a part of my work as well.
Speaking of your work, can you see invisible people?
He kind of like blinks and leans in. Do you see invisible people right now?
No, idiot! Soul pouts.
Just making sure.
Ugh.
I figured
No.
the best was to be direct with you from now on.
Thank you. Soul, like, kind of blinked for a second and then looked really relaxed. Probably since the first time they were, like, relaxed fully in this room.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. No, I could, if I took the time, learn a spell to see invisible people. Whatever. It's a spell.
Mm-hmm.
However, on the other hand, I myself know invisibility.
Uh-huh, I see.
I just figured as a spy, you would have something like, or maybe to see things that are invisible following you.
I'm not normally followed, and when I am,
Soul looks away and kind of smirks.
they usually get caught pretty quickly. Why do you ask?
Oh, no reason.
Do you require someone to watch out for you? Do you feel like someone is invisible following you?
Soul kind of thinks for a second. No, not really. There is one thing that's been bugging me lately. It happened a while ago, but I don't know, this is really stupid. It happened a while ago.
Go on.
Well, my betrothed is a very nice person. But there's just one thing that happened a while back that still kind of bugs me. One time in my home's garden, I noticed him talking to a shadowy figure. I used invisibility to figure out what he was talking about, because, I don't know, anyone talking to a shadowy figure, I just feel like that's a little suspicious, don't you think?
Certainly. Seems
Well,
like a
when I
natural
went-
reaction.
When I went out there, it's like that thing, whatever it was, or whoever it was, noticed me right away and disappeared. And then when I confronted him about it, he said it was for a surprise that was mostly arranging a thing with a Symphonia person. At least this is what he says, but most bards do not take see invisibility spells. It just... No, I shouldn't...
You feel that
I shouldn't doubt, but...
You feel that he's not trustworthy. I understand. I mean, I've seen a lot of cases of infidelity in my day.
Oh, no, I don't
Nobility
think
is
he's
rife with that.
infidelitus. I don't really know what it is. Something just feels off.
Well, I mean, if you ask me, it seems fairly obvious. Not to be cruel or rude, but it does seem like he was most likely dealing with, well, probably someone else that he's interested in. It happens really all the time in nobility.
He's not nobility, though. He's from the streets.
I thought you said it was an arranged marriage.
Yes, I'm so sorry. The reason is, in my village's culture, when it comes to the protector, what they do, there is a big competition. And, well, pretty much whoever has the highest skill in magic and ends up winning the competition ends up being betrothed to the future protector in order to ensure that the barrier itself becomes stronger with each generation.
Interesting.
So anyone can technically socially climb this way.
Elves are a strange lot, that's for certain.
Look, an angel is the one that started this, so not even me.
Well, forgive me, but it does... I've seen this sort of behavior before, and to me it seems like he's keeping secrets from you, and typically that means that his heart may be split. Have you noticed any other indications that he may have, well, I suppose a side lover?
No.
No strange perfume smells?
No.
No bits of clothing?
No, we usually spend time in his room, so...
Unexplained cut marks on his back, perhaps?
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
Oh, cut mark.
Don't let it worry you mind.
Okay. Alright, I don't think I've noticed any of this thing, but is there any check I could do to think about this and be like...
You can make an intelligence check, just a
Okay.
ability score check.
Oh, a 6. Yum!
Yeah, you don't recall anything like what he's describing.
Nothing of the sort.
Well, then I suppose the only other option is he was either telling the truth or it's something far more sinister.
Soul looks concerned.
And I suppose with being betrothed to one such as yourself, he would have no reason to look elsewhere.
Soul at first was going to say, what do you mean? And then thinks about it and is like, is that a compliment? I think that's a compliment. And just looks at him with kind of slanted eyes, but they're kind of smiling. Did you just say I was pretty?
Sorry, I'll be more direct. That was a compliment.
Thank you. It's very sweet. I mean, none of the viewers can, deny that I play Soul the way Soul is, at least.
Dumb as shit.
Well, alright, there's more things for me to be concerned about in my life, past being stuck in a village for about 80 years. Great.
You say that out loud?
Yeah.
Being stuck in a village for 80 years with someone that has bad intentions, perhaps. Yes, that would be very terrible.
Well, at least you'll be there for some of it, helping me train some spies.
Well, for a short time, I suppose.
As long as you want. You may come and go as you please.
Are these spies going to be elves, I suppose?
Well, unfortunately, we really only have elves in our village.
Yes, I suppose your people don't really mix that often, do they?
I wish they would.
An eyebrow goes up.
What?
I'll simply ask, did you mean that as a flirtatious remark?
Soul thinks about this for a second. Do you want it to be a flirtatious remark?
His smirk gets a little bit bigger. I would be alright with that.
Then yes.
He leans in for another kiss.
Oh, wow. Okay, he's just going for that. Alright, well, technically, he's already caused enough confusion in Soul about trustworthiness. Nah, that makes sense. They're okay with this currently.
Alright. He's going to reach a hand and sort of touch above your hip. So he sort of moves his left hand to your waist and sort of holds it there for a second and then moves it to your back to sort of support you.
Uh-oh.
As he leans in for a deep kiss.
Well, unfortunately, maybe not unfortunately, due to the back being touched, Soul probably would let out a noise then. Because that is their zone. They take one hand and push him back, and then they have the other hand already on their mouth. Because they're surprised.
Is everything alright?
Sorry, did you hear that?
He kind of smirks and says, yes.
Great.
I'm surprised that the other offices in the area didn't hear it as well.
Great! Oh. Soul is beet red and they just put their head in their hands. I'm sorry. My back happens to be a weak spot for me.
I see.
They aren't looking at him anymore. They're too embarrassed.
You feel the table move slightly, as if someone just sat next to you. It's,
Sorry about that.
It's understandable. I mean, we all have our weak points, I suppose.
Okay, so what's yours?
Oh, we're trading now. In my business,
I gave you mine.
and in my business, it's important to keep your weaknesses to yourself.
Soul looks over at him.
Yes?
I'm going to find it out, then.
I suppose you'll have to interrogate me.
That's what the rope's for.
Well, I think that this might be an interesting partnership after all.
I agree. I'll watch your back.
And he reaches his hand. It's since he's sitting next to you. He's sitting to your right side, so he reaches his left hand and sort of runs a finger down your spine. As he says, and I suppose I'll watch yours.
K.O.
He's definitely taking his time with the movement, and he's definitely trying his best to elicit a response here.
I would like to think that Soul's trying to hold it in since they are aware that he reached over, but you just see their shoulders go up more, and their eyes just get wider and wider as they're trying to control this.
Do you think this calls for a will save, or not?
Sure, because rolling is fun.
Make a will save.
That is an 18.
Your will is quite strong, so that's good. So yeah, you're able to suppress any sort of noises or sounds or anything of the sort.
Well, it's definitely not going to be as loud as the first one, but I'd like to imagine there's just one that's right behind their lips. You can almost hear it in the throat.
Yeah.
It's quiet, but since we're in the room alone in an empty room, I'm sure he could hear it.
Okay.
Because I like fun things like that.
I'm not being too forward, am I? As he says this, he's going to move his hand back up your back.
I'd imagine Soul's spine starts to go forward with their shoulders going backwards in response. I don't know. I don't think I've ever really been treated this way.
Well, if you'd like me to stop, simply let me know, he says as he runs his hand back down your spine.
Ooh, okay.
Again, he's sort of moving it across and sort of moving into different muscle groups and just generally...
Did another will save, it's a 15.
A 15, so you did a little bit worse to sort of maintain...
Notably, everything will always be above a 12 at least.
Right, a 12 is your lowest you can roll, so a 15 is a pretty bad roll for your will.
Yeah. Soul's face is just getting redder and redder now.
When's the last time you've had good massage?
A massage?
Mm-hmm. They do have that in the Elven lands, don't they?
Yeah.
And again, as he's saying this, he's continuing to move his hand up and down your back.
I don't usually let people touch my back.
Oh, well, then I suppose I should consider myself. And then he sort of puts emphasis on it. Very lucky.
I believe Soul is currently frozen, in fear that if they move, they will make noises. Whew. This is different. This is new. And there's a good series of just ums as they're trying to focus, but I assume each is like one up and down. Mm-hmm. And then they lose their train of thought completely.
You get the feeling that he's thoroughly enjoying toying with you.
Well, that'll probably help out keeping whatever contract we're doing. Inner soul monologue that keeps resetting.
Yeah.
Outward soul looks very flushed. Okay. Well, since he continues to do that, and soul's very flushed, and other things, they will turn their head towards him and just look at him for a second.
He's definitely looking into your eyes.
He's fine with me having a glass eye, huh?
I mean, he wasn't going to bring it up. Lots of people have different maladies and things, like, especially adventuring folk, they tend to have scars or artificial limbs of one form or another, and it's typically impolite to mention them. He hasn't said anything. But you notice that he's looking into your eyes. He's staring at both of your eyes. He moves his vision back and forth. He's not just staring at your teal eye, but also at the artificial one. Because to him, that's just how you've always looked.
That's kind of nice. Okay. Soul moves forward and kisses him.
Okay. He happily accepts the kiss and sort of redoubles his effort because you're leaning in. He's going to move his right arm to sort of wrap around your other side. And he's going to try to gently pull you a little bit to where you're closer to him. So he can kind of use both hands and sort of make an alternating motion up and down your back as you're kissing.
Because I assume with Soul currently, because they're being teased so much, that instincts are kicking in more than actual thought.
Right.
You goddamn dense bitch.
Soul's so stupid.
Can't say I don't play my character correctly.
Nope. I do love that character.
Oh, man. So, if that continues duel, though, I think Soul's gonna melt.
How does that happen?
Okay, so normally what I imagine with the melting, it's like all their muscles kind of relax and their head goes back a little bit. Mm-hmm. Just because instinctively that's the main thing. It makes tingles in their brain and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so it's just kind of a moment where they focus on that. So they kind of melt away from the world in a way.
Gotcha.
And then they'll snap to suddenly. Mm-hmm. And then they'll just put an arm on his shoulder, scoot back, and put their hands in their lap. Huh.
Is everything alright?
Yes. I still think I should talk to partners first, just to keep trust going.
Very well.
You're very good at that.
Still with gloves on.
Soul instinctively fiddles with their own gloves angrily.
Having a dexterous hand is part of the job.
I'm plenty dexterous myself, thank you.
Care to demonstrate?
Not today.
He chuckles. Well, I suppose that's fair.
I can't let you have everything at once.
That's odd. I'm used to that sort of treatment.
Same.
Well, I suppose that makes this a bit of an unusual arrangement between the two of us.
Agreed. Isn't this going to be fun?
Well, I look forward to the next step.
Soul just kind of looks away because they're trying to hide the fact that their face has been completely flushed the whole time, but they're still trying. I just hired a devil. Great. Ends justify the means. Right.
Oh, the descent toward evil soul continues.
Hush up. No one's getting hurt.
Well, not yet.
Well, I still said I had to have a conversation, nonetheless.
Of course. I'm only willing to go as far as you're willing to go.
I've had someone say that. I've also had someone say to the ends of the earth, whatever that means.
Well, I'm not quite sure about that. Like I said, my loyalties lie elsewhere.
I understand. And nonetheless, I am asking you to do something very strenuous.
An eyebrow goes up. I see.
Whoosh.
Well, Perhaps we can both work on our stamina then.
You would be surprised. I can take quite a few beatings.
Oh, well, I suppose the life of an adventurer is very exciting then.
Honestly, I wish it was a little simpler. Don't get me wrong, I love being out and about, but the whole dealing with the 8 thing is pretty stressful. But my goal is to get rid of all of them, really. Whether or not I'm directly involved, that's another story, but the sooner they're gone, the safer the world is.
And I will do my best to assist in that goal, at least for the time being, and of course, accepting that my orders remain such that I'm able to render such assistance.
Of course. It's a deal.
Oh, good. He stands up from the table and offers a hand.
Soul takes it.
He helps you off the table as well, and gives your hand a shake. Well then.
Can I do a strong shake?
A strong shake?
Like, to kind of prove that I'm
Sure.
I'm not weak shit.
Yeah, you ain't weak shit. Make a strength check.
It's 12.
Yeah, you put some strong in that. You're like, yeah, I am strong. And you shake that hand. You put some grip strength in that.
Thank you.
He makes no notice of it.
God damn it. I'm trying to be cool over here. Alright. Well, I look forward to being in your partnership.
As do I. I suppose you'd better run along and gather up your friends?
Yeah, I gotta make sure they haven't started any fires yet.
Is this something I need to be concerned about, being that you're in my hometown?
No, I don't think so.
Well,
I promise we will not do any destruction to here. It's a lovely city anyways, so that's not part of the plan. Although, no promises about not setting fires in the Gnomelands, but you'll be with us, so not a big deal.
And why would you think that, precisely?
Oh, no reason. And Soul starts to walk to the door. Again, you should really check to see if you can have a spell for invisible people. Just saying. Is the door locked?
The door is locked, yes.
Okay, am I able to open it, though,
Yeah,
from the inside?
Yes, the latch is on the inside, so you can
Okay.
latch it.
Soul goes to open the door and just kind of coyly looks back at him.
He's just giving you a smirk.
Just saying, maybe I'd be a good spy. And they walk out of the room.
Fair enough. Alright, you attempt to make it back through the maze of back hallways in the agency.
And he didn't come with me.
No.
Hmm.
You walked out of the room, right?
Yeah, I just assumed he would follow me.
Okay. You walk out of the room, and you get about 5 paces down, and you notice he hasn't followed you. Do you want to do anything about that?
That's fine. I'll use invisibility.
Okay.
And then I go back to the room.
You go back in the room, and there is no one in the room.
Gotcha. Alright, we're playing this game. Okay. I'll make my way out of this maze, then.
The door closes.
What?
Before you can walk out of the room, the door closes again.
Still
in the room. Like, you walked back in the room, and there was no one in there. And as soon as you walked into the room, the door closes.
Okay. Well, okay, I'll just open the door.
Well, you move your hand toward the door, and there is something in the way.
I step back.
You step back, you feel breath, you can hear the sound of breathing, and you feel a hand sort of touch your arm.
Okay. Eyeball. Detect magic.
There is an invisibility spell, well, it's an illusion spell, an illusion school spell.
Alright.
In front of you, and also, of course, on you yourself.
Okay.
So there's a magical aura in front of you, as well as yourself.
I'll take another step back.
Okay. You take another step back, and your butt runs into the table. It sort of bumps it a little bit. You hear, like, a snickered laugh.
Is that Alex? Laugh, please?
Yes.
Okay. I used to spell magic on him.
You cast... Alright, you cast Dispel Magic, and roll a d20 plus 8.
Okay. That's a 13.
Okay, nothing happens.
Oh, shit.
I mean, so, like, there's verbal components to the spell, so... You just, like, cast the whole spell, and then nothing happens. You hear, like, a snickering laugh again.
I see.
Poor choice
Well,
of
I
words.
deserve this.
Poor choice of words.
Yeah, I get it.
You feel a hand sort of brush under your chin.
How do you even know?
I mean, he did just see you bump into the table, so...
This is true, but this isn't how Soul thinks of things. Not even fair.
You hear him whisper, "There's no one here," and then you feel his lips on yours.
Interesting.
It's doubly strange because you don't see, like, the room is empty, right?
Yeah.
So, you can't even really see yourself that well.
Nope. Well, this is weird. I feel like we just had a conversation about patience and,
Breaks the kiss and starts kissing down your neck. As he's going, he says, "Who are you talking to?"
You?
As he continues kissing, he says, "Room's empty."
Oh boy. Soul's brain is reeling.
And of course, sorry, I didn't mention this, but of course, his hands are right back to your weak point.
Oh dear.
Yeah, he is a spy. I don't know what else to say.
Okay, so no one's in the room, but even still, I'm very confused.
He says, you came back in the room.
You didn't follow.
He stops again, and he says, "So, you came back in the room invisible," and he kind of like lets out a long sigh, and he's like, I really am having trouble reading your intentions.
I just wanted to see if you're doing something suspicious.
You can't see him, but his voice is now whispering sort of into your ear, and he says, "I'm a spy. Everything I do is suspicious."
Exactly, that's why I was invisible.
And before he moves away from your ear, he nips it slightly.
Soul instinctively touches their ear. No one can see this, but I feel like this is very bad.
You say that out loud?
Yeah.
Okay. As I said, I feel like I misread your intentions again.
My head is swimming.
The door unlatches and opens.
Am I still being touched?
No.
Okay. Soul's invisibility dispels just out of pure, like, embarrassment, and they kind of collapse on the floor.
Oh, jeez. You're helped onto your feet by a now visible Alec. I misunderstood. Again,
What kind of people do you deal with?
Well, an interesting lot, for certain. High societies, mostly. Parthenian nobles.
Well, apparently they're a bunch of sleazeballs. Soul's upset now.
He kind of rolls his head side to side as he weighs that term and ends up sort of nodding in agreement. Yes, that's fairly accurate.
I grew up in a place where I was just in one house, like, at all times, and then, like, sometimes went out to the village to buy books. And the most I've experienced of the world was in September to now.
I had no idea you were so sheltered.
That's the point of the Protector. They don't leave.
You mentioned you had partners. I figured that you had a more...
Very new.
Flamboyant
very
lifestyle. New. I mean, judging from your dress, I assumed that you were a follower of Symphonia. So, again...
Yup.
I suppose I've made some assumptions here.
Fun fact, Alec. Not everyone is a sleazy Parthenian.
That's true. I do hope you'll find it in your heart to forgive me.
Soul just kind of sighs. I will. Sounds very defeated.
Well, then I suppose I will be off. It was an interesting conversation, for certain.
We're gonna talk more in the future, so it's fine. I'm going to probably be the most different person you meet if you've dealt with a lot of Partheny.
Well, and I look forward to getting to know you better.
Same to you.
He kind of gives you a tight bow and then turns to leave the room.
Oh, my brain is a fishbowl. And I leave. I go to find my stupid party.
Alright, you step out of the room and find your way out of the agency relatively easily. And
I'd like to imagine it's a lot easier than if they had actually been paying attention, but they just have their hand on their head, like they have like a really bad headache the entire time as they're leaving. And they like easily weave out because they're not focused.
Yeah, you quickly find your way out. Alright, so back to the bar. Karis is knocking back shots.
Shot.
And she looks at Lovette and she says, "Lovette, you have been a really close friend to me these last few months. Do you know that?"
I try. Thank you.
Am I going crazy?
I don't know if I'm the right person to ask for that, though.
Because some days everything makes sense, and other days nothing makes sense. And I'm tired of it. I don't know anymore. I don't know if what I think is right or if what I think is just my brain playing tricks on me anymore. Am I still in that crypt? Did I die? Is this hell?
I mean, technically she did die.
So that's a good one. Like,
That's
don't
true.
say that.
That's true. It all seemed so clear, and then it faded. Do you know? Do you know what I mean? Have you ever had anything like that where something will happen and everything seems perfectly focused for like one instant, and you hold on to it as hard as you can, but every day it gets a little bit softer and a little bit more blurry until it's sort of just this concept, and you're just full of doubt. That's sort of where I've been now for a little while, and some days I think that all of this has been a complete waste, and I don't know what to do anymore.
Me too. Some days I think that I'm going to have to give up everything I care about to protect the things I have there.
What are your plans exactly? Are we gonna go to the Gnome Lands, and are we gonna clear your name?
Clear my name? What is there to clear?
You didn't.
You know what? I want to do this in the private chat.
Oh,
Let's do it.
You got it. Here we go.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O!
You didn't kill her, at least not on purpose.
It doesn't matter if it's on purpose.
It does. I'm pretty sure that murder requires intent.
Wait,
okay?
I still killed her.
So, maybe we were putting her out of her misery. We don't know what kind of life she was having. She's been in a coma for ages.
Know what kind of life she was having before that, and that was my fault too.
What do you mean?
I tried to explain. These machines that I put on her was to kill her.
Yeah, but they kept her alive, right?
Right.
Like,
Well,
she would have died otherwise.
She did die, Callis.
Yeah, years and years later.
Well, it was, as far as she's concerned, the next day.
I mean, even before that, she used your inventions to help her. She kind of like sort of points at you. She doesn't get too close to touch you, but she kind of points at you. She's like, "You are better than you think, and you've done really good things. All right."
Alright, Callis, you tell me what you were crying about when you left that room, or I am going to hug the shit out of you.
Yeah, maybe don't do that unless you want to spit blood up for a little while. Because...
Well, maybe I do. Let's see. Let's go. I'm gonna take a shot.
She matches you shot for she takes another shot with you. She coughs a bit, wipes her mouth, and she says that I was asking Book if I was going crazy, and Book didn't know, so I sort of just lost it. Okay.
I tell you what, going crazy or not, you're one of the most special people I've ever met. You are right now the number one reason I'm still alive after what I did. I
mean, I don't think anybody's going to be able to kill you, Lovette. Have you seen Archie? He's kind of got your back. I mean, I haven't been bringing my bodyguards with me anymore. I don't exactly know why. They just sort of felt wrong.
Well, don't think you're stepping on my toes. The more the merrier. If we want to go around with an army, I'm not opposed to that.
It's just, it seemed like they were adding too much to our group, they were making us too imposing, I guess. We seem to be able to get into places pretty well with just the 5 of us. 6.
Yeah.
She corrects herself.
Got some modifications for Archibald that may make that trickier, but we'll see.
I'm glad you're keeping busy. I still think we should go back and clear your name and, maybe get revenge on those 2 assholes.
I don't know if there's anything left of them to get revenge on.
Well, I mean, you could always piss on their graves, right?
I don't know. I wouldn't consider that ladylike.
She laughs and does another shot.
I'll follow. I'm matching her now.
I think we're a bit beyond that, Lovette.
Maybe.
I think at this point that winning is all we have left.
I don't know if I deserve to clear my name yet, but I do want to make sure that my parents are okay and find out if there have been developments.
Yeah, we should do that.
Or I should get some of this whiskey for the trip. For after the trade is mimics. This will be mimic whiskey. We'll leave the wine alone. And Caris, about the drinking. I know I've been very hard on you about that lately. The night with Moira, I just keep thinking about it, and I feel like if you are a little more present, it would have gone differently. I think it would have been a trivial matter for you to completely salvage that situation.
She kind of looks a little bit stunned by that. You think it was my fault?
No. I think that you could have fixed everything, so.
But I didn't.
Well, you were blind drunk.
She kind of takes a second to process all that. And her brow kind of furrows and twists a little bit. She's like, so you're saying that if I was sober, then I could have saved your friend, so it's my fault that she died, even though you went off to rescue her when I was blind drunk. I don't believe this.
Look at this, anything. I was trying to apologize, Callis. I was trying to explain myself and apologize.
If you needed my help so bad, you could have asked, or you could have waited a day, and now you're coming at me with this? Now? That I could have just fixed it all were I not drunk. She stands up from the bar and kind of steadies herself. She lays a couple coins down on the bar and picks up the bottle that she was drinking out of, and she's like, I have to go think for a minute, and she sort of stumbles her way to the door.
Fuck. Alright, how much whiskey does I have in this place? Let's find out tonight.
Yeah, you can buy a lot of alcohol in the town. It's not rare at all. You can
so
buy a fair
I was
amount of it.
planning on chatting with Archie about whether or not he actually wants his clothes after. I imagine I discussed his upgrades with him ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'll ask now. Yeah, Archie, given the upgrades we were talking about, if you still want some clothes, I would get you something you like, but they probably won't fit for very long.
Archie thinks about it and indicates that basically they'll agree with you. Archie will agree.
Okay. Alright. How much would it cost for me to get blackout drunk, I guess?
Oh, not much. Not much at all.
Alright.
Yeah, booze is cheap. 1 gold, if that.
Oh, cool. Where the fuck? My money is gone. Oh, I'm looking at Archie's.
Yeah, Archie doesn't really carry a lot of gold.
2 gold. I'll double it.
Jeez. Alright. So yeah, you go a little bit way overboard and just get destroyed.
Alright. Did we have a meeting place?
No.
Well, fuck. I guess I'll start wandering around town yelling for everyone else then.
Alright. Back to the main channel.
What up, boys?
So they went off. There was a bit of a convo, and now we're going to the rest of the party. So who was where?
Markus and Vera are together.
Excellent.
Yes.
So that's where we're at now. What were you two doing?
We are looking for a master smith or something.
Okay.
Yes.
You go around to the shops, and you find yourself a weapon store. Or do you just want a smith specifically?
No. I want to. I would like to find somebody who could both enchant and graft. I guess make the scimitar silver, or I guess it would be a reforging of it, wouldn't it?
Well, it would be chemically treating the metal to make it take on a silver sheen, basically. So
yeah.
Okay.
So you probably want to make him magical first.
Okay, hold on. So
sorry.
So I just looked at your pocketbook, and you cannot afford this. The base price to enchant a sword is 2,000 gold.
Oh yeah, no.
Wait, how much does Markus?
710.
What? What have you been spending it all on?
Last time it was to make the scimitar. Last time. The armor.
Scimitar was cheap.
The armor.
Was it enchanted armor?
+1 breastplate.
Okay.
Yeah, enchanted armor. +1 breastplate and +1 sling staff. So, also the other magic items is a cloak of resistance +2 and a headband of inspired wisdom +2.
Yes.
So you've got a little bit of magic items on you.
Yes. Well, that stinks.
You could sell the slings.
Marcus glares.
Well, I mean, you could sell it, right?
Yeah, I could sell my kidney too.
Oh, do they do that here?
I mean, I probably do, but I mean,
Well, can't you just cast magic to regenerate you? Why would they need your kidney?
I don't know.
Is that a halfling thing?
Pie, maybe?
It's a halfling thing, isn't it?
Go ask a balut.
Where did the book say that the people who could potentially help me, what were they?
He said enchanters. Like anyone that's like specialized in enchanting magic.
Okay. I'd like to try to find one of those and just find out how much that would cost.
Okay. You want to like find one in Hale?
I mean, I'll ask around and see if I can find out where
Okay.
one is.
What, one that would help you enchant my scimitar?
No, get rid of the bad things that happened to
Oh.
Vera.
Oh.
Diplomacy check.
Alright, diplomacy. That is a 16.
All right. 16 on your diplomacy. So you ask around and you do find a spell shop, like a little wizard's supply store, basically. It's run by an enchanter.
And I'll vaguely ask them about if they can help me with my problem.
Yeah. All right. The name of the shop is called Leighton's Curiosities.
Okay.
It's run by an enchanter by the name of Leighton Adams. It's an elderly human currently sitting behind a counter smoking a pipe, poring over some books.
Okay.
He speaks to you through the pipe. Yes?
Excuse me, I was wondering if you could help me with a problem?
Problems? No, well, very well. He takes the pipe out of his mouth and kind of like looks up from the book for the first time. Kind of looks up at you. What sort of problems? Is it a boy variety? Would you like me to sell you an enchantment potion?
No, why? Why that? It's something completely different.
Sorry, the typical clientele I get around here. My apologies. Lady problems then.
Oh!
I mean,
I was told
Vera
I needed-
has lady problems, just not those kind of lady problems.
Anyway.
I was told that I needed to find a enchanter to... I may have messed with a magical glyph of some kind, and...
Oh! Ha! He sets the pipe down. You think you've been, He kind of like makes a gesture in his head. You think you've been, tampered with, hmm?
Yes.
Well, that's easy enough to fix. Let's see. He starts pouring through his books again. So, what he is going to offer you... okay, so he looks up from his books, and he says, here we go. Any enchantment effect on you I can break, with reasonable amount of success. However, I'm going to require a payment of 500 gold pieces.
Oh, that's it?
He laughs. I mean, to some, that's a fortune.
Well, alright.
I'll get out 500 gold.
Alright, we're going to reduce that from your character now.
Alright.
Okay. You plunk down 500 gold pieces in front of this man, and he takes it, kind of like picks up the bag, or like weighs it or whatever, counts it out, sets it behind his counter, and kind of cracks his knuckles, takes out a scroll of paper, says, sit down on this stool here.
By the way, is Marcus with you?
So I assume so.
I would
Unless
assume,
unless
yeah.
you did
Okay.
not.
Unless he didn't follow.
No, Marcus followed. Marcus was definitely dejected because he's counting out his little coppers and crap. So yeah, Marcus followed and it's like watching with great intent.
So Vera will take a seat.
So here comes the roll. Boom.
A roll?
Yeah, he's got a...
See if it
So-
works.
He casts the spell, and he is going to see if the effect takes root. He sort of like, the scroll burns up as he casts the spell, and he sort of like fires a jolt of energy at you. And it sort of washes through your whole body, and your mind kind of gets cloudy for a second. And my question is, do you resist this or not?
No.
Okay. In that case...
Marcus does a spellcraft because he was very interested. Oh wow!
That one, you
Okay,
loser.
Marcus gets a nat
I
one. The enchanter is casting light or create
Ooh,
water.
it's so pretty.
You think he's casting create water?
It's so goddamn pretty.
All right, so Vera, if you check your character sheet, if you go to the notes tab, you should see the change that was made there.
Okay.
Is that accurate?
Yep.
All right. So the energy washes through you, and the man says, "Well, how do you feel?"
I mean, I feel fine. It's hard to tell the difference, but I think it may have worked.
Well, all right then. He kind of like cracks his back and neck a little bit. Says, "Well, if you need anything else, you could always use more affluent customers."
He called you rich.
Thank you.
He nods and sits back down.
All right. How much are Boule parts worth?
Not a huge amount, but they're
Okay.
a curiosity, and sometimes their stuff's used for like material crafting since it's made of like tough stuff.
I think
So-
we could make something cool out of it.
Yeah, so like you might be able to sell it to like a weapon or armor shop, or some of its more gross bits. Maybe wizards might want to buy
Yeah.
for like reagents and crap. They like weird curiosities and shit.
Maybe you could make some money in the Gnome land and get you some money there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see why not. Eden will provide.
I'm sure.
But you know what's better than Eden? Mellifera.
That was definitely like a rolling eye.
I'm sure. Like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, great. Join my cult.
She's helped out so much already.
It's making sure that I'm devout.
But shouldn't you be rewarded for what you do?
Not if it's what I'm supposed to be doing.
But then you're
What I'm
just...
supposed to be. If it's what I'm supposed to be doing, then it's what I'm supposed to be doing.
But then you're just giving a god power with nothing... The god's just stealing from you then.
No, I don't see it that way.
I just can't understand. Can't understand that.
Is nature kind?
No.
Nature's brutal as fuck. And that is what I expect from Eden. But when I do something that truly is beyond what I'm supposed to be doing, Eden will reward.
Why does a god like that get so much attention when others who all they do is give get pushed to the side and forgotten? That's what I want to know.
Markus shrugs. Life ain't fair, as they say. I mean, look at me. I'm doing everything nice and right. I'm probably gonna die within the month.
Wait, what? What do you mean in the month? What do you mean die?
I mean, not dead per se, but wearing a bit thin, that's all.
There has to be something we can... Can't we take a soul from something else?
I'm not consuming any souls.
Yeah, but what if it's like a parasite or something?
I'm not willingly consuming any souls.
You can't just let yourself die.
Sure I can. It's my choice. If that is where I'm supposed to be, that's where I'm supposed to be. I will not consume a soul. I am me. I'm not taking from anyone else.
Are you
Sorry.
laughing about? Are you
He
just
says it so often. I'm sorry.
Oh. I want to be a real boy!
Not without eating real humans, you aren't.
Oh, pretty much.
You are what
Yes.
you eat, buddy.
Ah! Eden will provide.
No, she won't. She hasn't yet had...
All I've done thus far is everything that I can and everything I'm able. Nothing more and nothing less.
But maybe Mellifera could help.
I appreciate that. But it's my hope that Eden will offer me something, even if it's at my deathbed or death cart, however long it takes us to get to the steam aisles.
Well,
But let's
I hope,
get. Yeah, I hope it works.
for your sake. So,
As I've always said, there's always tomorrow.
sounds like there's only so many tomorrow.
Everyone dies.
But not everyone dies within the month.
Do you know how long you have?
As long as I can.
Then we share. Then we share a goal.
And with that, where should we go?
To the steam aisles.
Alright. So the two of you have departed from the enchanter's shop, and that will sort of zoom us back to where we're still sort of a split party. We've got some people wandering the streets, some other people wandering the streets, and some other people not wandering the streets.
I think we should try to meet up back at the. I guess where did book tell us where we need to go?
No.
He said arrangements were being made.
Where did Soul go? Anyways,
Markus.
I'm
You
with
guys
Markus.
aren't together yet.
I never saw them leave the archive. I mean, they left them in front of us, but I didn't see them afterwards. I didn't see them leave the building.
I mean, they obviously went out. Did they not say where they were going?
I don't think they did.
Why always this? Okay.
It's never dull with us, is it?
Well, I guess I can probably take a guess where Karis is.
Okay, hold on. On 3. Let's say where they are. 1, 2, 3.
Never. It's like the same thing.
Same difference.
That's kind of sad.
I mean, they got a rough life. 5 silver says she's completely schnockered.
Wait, what side of the bet are you taking?
Oh, I'm saying she's plastered.
Oh, this is a losing bet. No. So we'll make our way to a bar that is close to where we left the archives.
Okay, you make your way to the central forum of the town, and you find like a high-class tavern. And actually sitting outside, like leaned up against the tavern, you find Karis, sort of like crumpled.
Did I run into a screaming gnome between those points?
Oh my god.
Different kind of screaming. Do I head the other way? Should I roll for it or something? I should open up.
Yeah, what would you like to have done there? Were you following Karis or like attempting to find her?
I was going out in the street and shouting for everyone else because I don't know what
Oh,
we're saying.
right. Okay. In that case, yeah, you're sort of in that central forum area in front of the palace, calling out for your party members. But you're
Do I
also,
cross paths with them?
heavily drunk. It's as soon as they walk in the forum, then they're going to see Lovette.
Ah!
So yeah, Vera and Markus.
Ah!
What?
Well, what are you saying? Well, what are you?
What are you?
No.
Oh,
I knew they were going to be drunk, but not this drunk.
What's going on? Well, we're sleeping, you guys. Always, do we have a plan?
Are you alright?
I'm
Lovette?
not. I'm the worst person, but you guys are the best. You fix everything.
I'm sure that's accurate somewhere, but no. Are you? I see Karis, right?
No, actually, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm retconning that.
Okay. Where are the others?
Well, Callius is off doing Callius things without me.
Did something happen?
Wait, what? Everything always happens. I just close things up.
This is just a mess, isn't it?
Whatever bottle I had with me and just throw it at the nearest wall. Like, why am I like this?
At this
pick
point,
up.
a couple of guards are gonna notice and start heading your way.
No, I've got her. I'm sorry. I pick up Lovette and
don't let them
put it
give
under
you
one
shit.
arm.
You're way fucking tougher than anyone in this town. You
Yes.
could take this
Yes.
home. We could lose this place.
Let's get you somewhere where you can rest.
Okay, yeah, wait, but we've got to make sure Calix is okay.
Is Karis alive?
She's, I've been wondering that for a while.
I'll walk towards the bar with the screaming gnome underarm.
I'm no longer screaming.
Markus is just... Markus can barely contain how much he's laughing. Just almost peeing himself.
Markus is like, oh my god, Lovette is so sad.
My life seems normal by comparison.
So, what did you do? Was it your fault or something, or... Let me guess, it's always your fault.
Everything is my fault.
I love sassy Vera.
I can be sassier now, too.
That's true.
Why? Because you're chaotic good?
No.
No.
That make you...
Not anymore.
Oh, yeah.
That shit got fixed, you.
I was shit. I was fucking crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. We hear you right now. You're very drunk.
Nice.
Thank you. Please don't damage me. I'm afraid to die.
So was it a... What happened? Just tell me what happened.
I don't remember what it was. It just said a stupid thing like I was right. And then I did the thing that I said not to do, and now we're here.
Do I see Karis?
No.
Just a little bit, like it's moving to you. Ooh.
I also will create a gallon of water on top of Lovette's head to try and diminish the effects of the
Alcohol.
inebriation.
Ah! It just slapped me.
Well, yes, but I don't want to get, arrested.
I'll slap her.
Thank you. I needed that.
Can I...
still really drunk.
Vera was about to put Lovette down, then just... Okay. He just keeps holding her. I'll go into the bar and see if I can find Karis.
Okay, you go into the bar and you look around. You do not see Karis anywhere in the bar.
I will go to the barkeep and ask if they've seen Karis based on description.
Oh yeah, hard to miss that one. You don't see many folk with hair quite that color. Yeah,
That's true.
She was in here drinking with a gnome. The two of them got a little bit raucous, and, well, the one overpaid by quite a bit and told me to keep the change. The other one ended up taking the bottle with them after buying the whole thing. I think they had some sort of fight.
Oh, no.
Bunnybuck says she's in a graveyard.
Do you know which way she went?
He shakes his head no. She left the door. That was the last I saw.
No. Vera will go back out. Just scream, Karis!
Alright, let me make a perception check for Karis.
About that damn another whiskey!
Anything?
You don't see anything. The streets are still just bustling full of people. You don't see Karis anywhere though.
Wait, do we have anything that we... I could do locate object.
She has a wine bottle, doesn't she?
I mean,
We'd have to
locate
know.
object wine bottles too generic.
Ah, crap.
What about her hand-woven
What about one
cloak
of...
thingy? Does she still wear that?
Yeah, I think she does.
That's technically an
There you go.
object.
That work?
Let's see. Alrighty, locate object. One clearly visualized object. Okay, so you clearly visualize it, and it is a long-range spell, so it's going to be 400 feet plus... so you're looking at 720 feet range on that.
That's not very good.
It's not very big, no. So your spell doesn't work. Spell fails.
Spell fails. Whap whap.
Let's see what else I got here. While we're looking for Karis, do you want me to do your thing at all?
I mean, I don't want to take away from you guys, so feel free to continue.
Okay. I will send Hummel up to do a quick look around.
Okay. Alright, let me do a quick check for Hummel. Okay, so Hummel sort of zips around a bit, eventually comes back reporting that, excitedly buzzing wings.
I think we know where she is.
And I'll follow Hummel.
Alright, you follow Hummel, and Hummel leads you guys down a couple of streets and down an alley, and you find, passed out, well, at least, laying down in an alleyway behind a couple of houses, you find Karis.
Piece of...
How much did you two... You know what? Never mind.
I will create another gallon of water. Just throw it right at the face.
What?
You doing all right there?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Liar.
Just what I need is to get my clothes soaked and have water splashed all over me when I was just trying to rest my eyes. She stands up kind of wobbly and sloshes her hands, her arms to kind of remove excess water. And tries to twist some of the fabric of her clothes to try to like wring out some of it.
I mean, it'd probably be best if you...
Cold enough here already without you splashing water on me in the street.
Well, what else was I supposed to do? Kick you?
You could have said, hey, Karis, wake up.
I mean, in hindsight, yes.
Look.
But here we are.
Yeah, here we are. Is there something you needed?
Well, we
do you want me
wanted to make sure
animate some skeletons for you?
Well, not yet.
Vera! Soul's voice echoes from the sky.
Oh my god, they're dead.
Everyone looks up to the sky. What was that?
You see the clouds form into Soul's face. Simba.
Vera. Remember.
Karis, do you know where Soul is? No one else seems to know.
No. I saw them leave the archive. That was the last time I saw. Why?
Well, we don't know where they went. They were gone by the time I exited the archive to begin with. But we should probably at least have a place ready to rest and gather ourselves for the morning.
Yeah. Let's find a place to get rested.
I feel like you might be mugged or something. You just sleep out here.
You're welcome to try.
Try not to cause a commotion.
Alright, so we'll find a place, an inn.
Wakes up with 3 dudes and pulls them with their own blood. Around
Yeah.
As you do.
Shrug.
Schwupsies. Alright. So the lot of you head to a nearby inn, and you secure bedding for yourselves for the evening.
I think we need to switch to Soul just so that we know where Soul is right now.
We'll start with Soul stepping into the forum at this point.
Okay.
It is currently early evening of the 30th of January.
It's fucking cold.
Yeah.
30th of January?
30th of January, 7 p.m.
Oh, God. Alright. So, I go out to the area. There's like a big statue in the middle of this.
Correct. There's an enormous statue of a beautiful wizard woman that you
who I assume is Matilda when she was younger.
Yeah, it was Matilda when she was alive, yes.
Oh, that's a weird way to say it. It's true, but it's weird.
Yeah, right?
Anyways, do I see my party?
Make a perception check, but
okay.
In the statue of Matilda, she looks like daring and brave and inspiring. Like, it's a really well-made statue.
That's an 18.
Yeah, you see your party.
Okay, apparently I can almost fail and still do good.
They're over by the base of the statue, talking.
Okay.
It appears that Lovette is swaying a little bit.
Is Vera still holding?
That is up to Lovette to decide.
I'm not lucid enough to really not be held at this point.
I see you guys and I jog out to you. Whoa!
Oh, hey,
hi, guys! Why the fuck are you drunk?
What?
Soul looks very flushed, by the way.
Are you okay? You look awesome. You look great.
Thank you. I was told that earlier in different words, too.
But it's lady, though. I mean, like, I can't even...
Vera, what happened?
I was not there when it happened, so I don't really know.
You're holding her, like...
She got in a fight with Karis, I guess.
Soul looks at Markus and he's not drunk, right?
No. He doesn't need to be drunk anymore.
But he was? I can't be drunk, so there's that.
You can't be drunk? I've seen you drunk.
I call bullshit.
Guys, I'm pretty sure I'm pregnant. It's not happening.
What? Holy shit, I'm not gonna remember any of this.
Where'd you go, by the way? You could have waited for us.
I had to make an arrangement with Alec personally.
What?
Wow.
Is he the father?
Ew, no.
I'm not going to assume. I don't
think he's good enough at magic for that.
Oh.
He's sweet and very soul blushes.
Oh, jeez.
Anyways, no. I'm pretty sure it's Grow, as he is the only one that I've,
Yeah,
What?
we know.
Yeah, okay. Anyways.
Wait, what about Siva?
Well, that's so great. Yeah, what about... Wait, what do you mean, what about Siva? No, they're just friends.
Soul's face gets redder. You can't make babies like that.
No. What are you... You're crazy, Vera.
I miss her very much, but no.
Well, anyways, we have a inn
Oh,
registered,
wonderful.
so...
Okay, I'll go to the inn. It's pretty late. I feel exhausted and feel like I need to think a lot of things through. And I need to recharge on spells. So, I'm good to go to bed.
You don't have to do anything before we
Nope.
prepare? No?
No, I mean, my armor, I did my armor already.
Gotcha.
It's stronger now, and so, like, moves their, like, shoulders back and forth, trying to show it off.
Does it look any different?
No.
Of course, it's stronger. Yes.
At least do detect magic or something. Wait, if it's an enchanted armor, does it show that it's magical, or is that not a thing?
No, there's an abjuration effect on the armor if you were to use it detect magic.
Okay. Use detect magic on it, then. You'll see the difference.
I pretend to wave my hand around.
That's...
Of course. Yes.
That's offensive.
I think you should set me down.
I'll let go of Lovette.
Just let her go.
Yeah.
Assume
Yes.
she's like a cat, and then she'll just lie at her feet.
Oh. Do you just let her go?
Yes.
If she's drunk enough, she'll just fall flat in her face.
Make a reflex
Turn her
save.
head. Alright, you got it.
14.
It's a
Alright,
14.
you manage to get your arms under yourself so you don't hurt yourself falling to the ground.
Okay.
He still fell.
Go crawl into a place that you can just heave.
Okay.
This is a terrific start to our next...
I'm going to be the biggest robot. You'll see.
We know. We'll see it.
I can do this.
Please
Where is
don't.
Archie?
Yeah, he's usually the one who's carrying me.
I mean, Archie himself is self-aware currently.
He's probably watching his dog.
Okay. Hopefully he's okay.
Maybe he's fighting with those guys that were trying to harass me about something.
Wait, is he
Wait,
still...
someone harassed you?
I don't even know who they are.
Also, what were you fighting with Harris?
Yeah.
They
were fighting?
I'm just so stupid. I just say stupid things like, I said that.
What was the stupid thing you said?
I don't even remember what they said. She said
Aw.
I blamed
I was
her.
gonna share something stupid that happened to me if you shared me your stupid.
I'm trying. What were we talking about?
What your fight with Karis was about, sweetheart.
No, I'm full of Kelly's.
Also, her name's Karis.
Kelly's.
Care.
Cal.
Is.
Is.
Close enough.
Close enough.
So Archie is still at the bar. Is that?
I don't know.
Did you see him when you went in?
Did
I
I?
have an idea. I'm gonna flip a little switch on my gauntlet, and I reach into my pocket, and I pull out Archie's orb and set it out, and he unfolds till use Maker's Call.
Alright.
Archie, where are you?
Archie appears next to you and looks around, panicked, and then runs back to the tavern.
Yep, I knew it.
What just happened?
He didn't have his dog.
Say hello!
Okay,
No.
that's it. Soul picks Lovette up by her jacket's collar.
Ah!
We're taking you back to the hotel room.
Fight me!
You want to go?
No.
Soul,
I mean,
like, holds Lovette
yes.
up in front of their face. You want to fight me? Me.
I don't really know what I want right now. I shouldn't say.
Okay. Then I'm taking you back to the hotel and you're gonna go to sleep.
This should get more risky.
No. And Soul, like, lets you go down and starts to kind of drag you, technically.
But you mean...
I can't understand you when you talk like that. You better sober up. Soul is walking in the direction... Well, Soul actually looks at Vera to lead, because they don't know where the hotel is.
Vera will point to the inn.
Oh, you're not coming with me.
Oh, I'll follow.
I like following you. But I'll lead this time. And Soul, like, walks towards the hotel inn, whatever the hell it is.
It's an inn.
Inn!
That's the name of it. It's an inn.
It's an inn.
Yep. People found it really charming. It caught our eye,
All right.
Me
hold on,
too.
I have to create this now.
Anyways, so we make it to the inn.
We make it to it's an in it.
There you go. It's on the map.
And man.
There you go.
I think we should decide what we're doing for when we get to the Steam Isle.
Isle.
There's only one?
It's only one island.
Oh, that's not nearly as impressive.
No, but I mean...
Why
I
would
won't-
that be alliance? What is why?
I won't.
What's your problem with just finding one?
Well, everyone says isles, but
Well, they say
it's
it
just
wrong.
an isle. I mean, you've said it wrong, too.
I know, it's the same in Nomish. It's just the same well, so I get confused.
Alright, so Soul gets to the room and opens the door.
All right. Inside, you find one of the beds currently has Karis laid out on top of the covers.
Soul tosses Lovette into the other one.
Karis is completely out.
Soul goes to get Lovette some water. Soul
I'm
comes
gonna
back with some
already-
water for Lovette.
I'm already tinkering with Archie. Or I guess not with Archie. with
Archie's
parts.
So
Yeah, he's not
okay.
around, but I've got parts I'm assembling
Okay.
aside from him.
when you walk through the lobby, by the way, you found Archie sitting there playing with Zero.
Oh,
Archie is currently wearing a top hat.
how adorable.
He's a fancy son of a bitch.
So, okay, we passed him. I mostly am concerned about just getting Lovette in a goddamn bed so she can just chill. Lovette, you stop tinkering. And Soul is trying to move them away to give you like a glass of water.
I'm fine.
No, drink the water. Drink the water.
I'll drink the water. Probably wouldn't respond, just kind of mumble.
So we're leaving in the morning.
Yes, I'm sure Alec will come get us.
Oh.
He's technically been assigned to us, by the way.
What? Oh.
He's our shadow.
Why? Why? How do you know this?
Oh, because I asked.
And he just told you?
No. So I found out myself. And then I asked him other things, which I think he agreed to. We shook on things, so I think he agreed to the things I asked for. Yeah.
Ask for.
I asked for him to help me train some spies.
What?
Look, I need some eyes when I'm stuck in the village.
You're not going to be stuck in the village.
Okay.
I'm going to disprove you.
You're gonna excuse me? What?
Make you immune to dying.
If you turn me into a robot, I will come after you.
If I turn you into a robot, I built in the failsafe.
Soul
I'm not-
looks
I'm not
very
gonna do that.
concerned.
I'm not going to do that.
Look, I'm gonna live for a really long time, and I just need to pass down my powers to my next of kin, which would be my daughter. They just have to train for a bit, which is about like 80 years, and, then I'm free to go, and I can continue on. But in the meantime, I would like some spies for while I'm not out and about.
Do your spies report to you?
Yes, I will be the leader of our village.
Yes, does they report to you directly?
That's the plan.
So they interact with you?
Yes?
Go back to tinkering.
I need to ask Alec a question how it works, though. He's a very smart individual. Also, very unusual. He seems to take, like, small little gestures as very different expectations.
Oh?
He's very weird, but he's interesting.
Hmm.
Also, he thinks... Never mind.
He think?
He does. Yep.
You think so? What?
He thinks, due to small concerns I have about my fiancé, that maybe he's either seeing someone or going to betray me. And that was a great thought to think of today. Yep.
Fiance, I thought you were married.
It's just a formality to say this.
I mean, it's all worthless, though.
Soul just slowly turns their head to Vera.
What?
Look, I know you don't care about relationships. It's not really your thing, but it's important to me.
Well, I'm sure it's important to a lot of people, but it's just in the scheme of things. Like, anyone can be closely connected to others.
True. I agree with you. Marriage is a bit of a formality, but a necessity in my nonetheless.
Especially people are important, Vera.
What?
People are special.
Did Lovette just say she loves you?
What? You
I
guys.
what?
It's hard to hear her when she's drunk and, Partheny.
When she's drunk, Partheny, and a gnome.
When the Partheny hit.
What's Markus doing?
Markus has been really much keeping to himself about all this. He's kind of being a little pensive about his existence.
All right. Also, Markus wants to die.
I'm aware. Soul bites their lip.
Like in the Instagram way, or?
No, Kyle, stop.
Oh, Markus is rather confused by their statement.
You literally told me while we were on the boat.
What, that I'm dying?
Yeah, and that you're refusing to eat.
Oh, that, yes. Yeah.
You're going to die inevitably if you keep that up.
You're all gonna die at some point. Just, I'm choosing how I'm going to. I'm fairly certain I know what happens to what I am if I don't, when I do expire, because I'm not alive, and I'm not dead. Fairly certain I know what happens.
Markus.
And it's okay. Eden will provide.
If I was a religious person, and this is me just taking something from Biff, never mind. You should listen to Vera's religion more. I was gonna say something about Symphonia, because I think there was something about how you're supposed to get people into your religion, but I don't really understand how religion works, to be honest.
Listen.
But Vera turned into a bee lady.
Thumbs up.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know what Eden's done for you, but we've seen what Mellifera has done for Vera.
Do you remember what
Eden has done for almost anyone?
Do you remember what that druid said?
Corona?
Yeah. I love the harmony you had there. Do you remember what Corona said? I don't know if you heard, but Eden responds to those who are faithful.
You okay, Lovette?
That's enough.
Eden
I
will
mean, we
reward
could
me.
just ask Corona right now. I've got a walnut.
Are we really gonna?
No.
No.
I'm just saying.
It is.
I don't want you to sacrifice yourself if perhaps like a different god could actually help you. Maybe Mellifera's nicer than Eden.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to the Hive. This is our life now.
How may I direct your call?
Yeah, but I believe that those that are too nice too easily are also too fickle.
Soul points
Excuse
at
me?
themselves questionably.
You must clearly not have any of her authority. Maybe you do need though.
It's the way it go.
I mean, I'd rather go to someone who's ready to help me rather than someone who I'm like, maybe not. They might betray me even though they're super friendly. I'd rather trust someone first and let them show me their true nature before I just go and deny something right away. Just like Vera. Remember, she used to hate my guts.
Second thumbs up.
Two thumbs. Right up.
I gave her a chance.
As tempting as it is to live, I want to die knowing that I made my choice.
Soul looks frustrated and turns to leave the room.
Wait.
Mm.
Lovette,
What?
you are the one that grew up in the Steam Isles. We need to know information.
Steve Isle.
Whatever it is.
It's one island.
I haven't seen the whole thing.
Well, like, one town's like seeing the whole thing, really.
Yeah, just the rest of it is mimics.
Why do you guys live there?
Just that's where we come from.
I mean, I would just assume if the whole place it has mimics that you would just leave.
Asses, they're weak, but they're tricky.
Then why are you afraid of them?
Because they're tricky and mean.
Yeah,
Right, we need alcohol.
that's true.
That's what they're trying to get my alcohol. You said no.
You kept on drinking it.
Wait, I'm not going to drink that. What?
You're supposed to throw it at them.
I know.
I'm gonna go get alcohol.
Okay.
You interrogate
Yeah.
Lovette.
It gets the Naomi's whiskey is good stuff.
Soul's already.
I'll pass. Well, I was gonna pass Soul of Gold, but I
Nah.
forgot people can't see my pantomiming.
Just throws the gold, hits the door.
Yeah.
Keep your money.
So, Lovette, do you know anything about the region that we're going to, other than that it's filled with mimics and that you hate them?
Well, that's most of it.
Damn it.
I've never been there. That would be crazy. You just go to Econopolis. Shit. Where's that way?
Would
Maybe not the alcohol.
Beardy, would Lovette know anything about the area?
I mean, aside from the fact that it's, semi-inhospitable and a lot of the territory, the further away you get from their capital city, the less habitable it becomes. Typically living outside the cities is considered a bad idea, just in general. but as you get further and further away, it gets
It's like
more likely
that
to be
noise.
dealing with mimics.
I mean, what do you need to know? If you go outside the lady cloak, then you can't sit down without the chair trying to kill you.
I mean, is it mountains, runes? What are we talking about here?
Forest and stuff. Also, nice nat 20.
Thank you. 34 on my perception, Beardy.
Yep. I said
Damn. Okay. Also, how much is the alcohol going to be and how much should I buy?
Oh, I mean, that's the question for the party, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I used 2 bottles, killed 1 greater mimic, if I remember correctly.
There was other things killing it, too. I mean, it wasn't just the alcohol.
There was one that I killed simply with alcohol, though.
Yeah, but you dumped, if I remember right, which I probably don't.
2 bottles.
You dumped, a mini bar on him or something.
2 bottles. Because I was chucking them. You know what? I think I'll just get 10
Okay.
10 bottles and deal with that.
Sounds good.
How much?
10 gold.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
So we'll head back to the hotel.
Marcus, would you mind getting some alcohol as well?
No, I don't mind. I guess I'll head out there, and I'm guessing it doesn't matter the quality of it, just the quantity.
Probably the percentage might be
I'm guessing moonshine is a thing around here.
just straight up grain alcohol.
It's just grain alcohol. Well, before we go, I might as well hit up a temple. While I'm out, let me go hit up the nearest temple to Eden.
All right.
Good luck. And
Yeah.
I'd love to
That
know
big
what
green spot?
It is that big green spot, yeah.
Yeah!
Yay! Go for my daily hopeful.
Give me a roll.
Hey,
16.
two better than last time.
2 better than last time. All right. You don't feel anything.
I feel nothing. Oh well.
Me too.
Alright,
What?
so can we reconvene and go to bed so we can continue on?
That sounds like a plan to me.
Alrighty. In that case, let's advance time. It is now January 31st, the year 763. We'll go ahead and start the day off at 7 a.m.
Anyways, Soul gets up early in the morning first and kind of lets everyone sleep because they need their 8 hours and probably waits out in the main area by the statue, admiring it, waiting for everyone to wake up.
So, the upgrades that I'm giving Archie would necessitate that he's around, which would, at some point, and I'm going to have him balled up in the morning.
Okay.
So, I'll be with the dog.
So the first rays of the sun are just appearing in the sky, and it's pretty cold out, as it has been for the past couple of days.
Alright.
But it is daytime, technically.
Pharaoh will buy some alcohol. Since Marcus came back with nothing.
It's going to be basically a gold a bottle, so buy as much as you like.
Okay. I'll get 10.
I'll give Vera, before she does that, go with 3 gold.
Appreciate it. How many do you want?
Oh
Are you-
boy.
Are you okay?
She sounds like she smokes 6 packs a day.
Oh god. It just...
Oh, I'll take this 3 gold, love.
this is Lovette now. Oh, she get over here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that's my head. How much is water?
I'm pretty sure water's free.
Oh, well, then, if you can give me some water, just whatever you want, I'll do all that.
I'll fill a bottle with water, because Druid things.
Druid, because Druid.
Thank you.
I also will get some for Karis as well.
Oh, what happened last night?
Well, you wouldn't tell us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure I meant to. Drinking. Alright.
Alright, Vera will head out to pick up the alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably see Soul.
Yeah, Soul's just hanging by the statue, just admiring it. They're in deep thought.
Vera won't disturb thought.
Soul, after seeming they're done thinking about whatever the hell they were thinking about, they turn over to Vera. Oh, is everyone up?
Lovette's up.
Okay.
I don't think Marcus is ever truly up.
Well, he's, not really alive either. So.
Is that an excuse, or?
No, I don't know. Just worried about him. Sorry.
Well, nothing that we can really do to change his mind, it seems.
True, I tried. Oh well.
Oh, well.
I really thought Malefer helped him.
I don't know if Malifera can help, but I know she'd at least try.
Better than nothing.
It is.
But he's not going to see it that way, so... It's not your fault, Vera. He's just not someone who belongs in your group.
Maybe not. Everyone's allowed there, so...
True. You're pretty great that way.
The hive is great.
Yeah, and you're a big part of the hive.
I'm no more special than anyone else, so...
Yeah, but you're special to me.
Vera does not know how to take that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Anyways, what are you doing?
There's like 10 bottles of alcohol just in Vera's arms.
Yeah, Soul doesn't get it.
I'm gonna give these to everyone else.
Are you sure that's good after last night?
I'll distribute it when we get to the steam aisles.
Okay, you got it.
Cramming it into the knapsack.
I'm gonna try to, I guess, talk to Book or find Alec or something so that we can get on our way. Is it okay if I leave waking up everyone to you?
All right.
You got this. And Soul gives, like, Vera a hearty pat on the shoulder. Physical contact.
Yes, that. All right, Vera will come back in. Lovette is awake.
Okay.
Awake
Right.
is a strong word for it.
Markus is...
Dead, as usual.
Markus, I'm going to tell you one time. Get the hell out of bed.
So, Vera will back up,
Scythe
puts
knows.
her foot on the bed, just pushes him off the bed.
Make a combat maneuver.
Yay, rolls! I love rolls!
They're delicious.
Let's see what happens. You're shooting for 18 or better.
Oh,
Oh, yeah!
All right, you put your foot up on the bed and just in one fluid movement, you just push Markus plus all the covers off the bed.
Fine.
Vera seems proud of themselves. That was a winner.
You didn't even blink. What are you complaining about?
Sleep. Sleep is good. Awake is not.
I wonder if Markus likes sleep because it's one step closer to him just experiencing death.
Experiencing the death.
It's the little death.
Yeah, a little death, kind of.
Effectivement.
That's a bit different, but okay. Yeah, Karis is going to be awake as well. Hasn't said anything.
Are you all right, Karis?
You want to get her some water too?
There was water by the bed.
Okay.
She sort of mumbles and sips some water.
Are you doing all right, Karis?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Can I ask about what happened yesterday?
She opens her mouth to talk, and then she kind of closes her mouth and kind of grits her teeth for a little bit. It's something I didn't expect to hear.
Oh my god. What did she say to her?
And what was that?
She sort of like sits up a little more as she's waking up, and she just kind of looks generally uncomfortable. I was talking with Lovette, and I thought everything was fine, and then Lovette tells me that she thinks that if she said that she basically blamed me for Moira's death.
What? What? In what way?
She said if I were there, it would have gone differently, but because I was drunk, Moira died.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Well, you know that's not true, right, Karis?
Maybe, but that's... I mean, even if I was there and she died, I don't...
Lovette went there on her own...
Vera snaps her fingers.
prerogative. On her own prerogative. Lovette made a mistake hooking up the device. Maybe she's just looking for an outlet to stop blaming herself. But it's not your fault.
I had no idea that she felt that way.
What a bitch. Sorry, I'm not there.
Besides, I tried to save her, and it didn't even work. She was gone right away. Must have been something with the machine.
I thought we were closer than that.
Oh, baby. Now no one is friends with
She takes a drink of water and gets out of bed.
That was worse than I thought.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Meanwhile, Markus is sitting between the beds and just being very, very, very quiet.
Vera has no clue about that.
Wow. I'm not there and I have no idea. Wow.
Hmm.
I'm just holding my tongue here. That's all I'm saying. Knowing this party, I don't expect that they're going to try and get both sides of the story. But
Oh, Vera's going to head out to talk to Lovette.
Yeah, and at the same time, like, Karis is 18, so she's not
Right.
exactly a mature person, so she probably, misread things.
Because right now, what Vera is thinking is, like, obviously, That's not Karis's fault. Also, Lovette was drunk.
No, not at that time.
That's what Vera's.
That's fair.
So I'll go up to Lovette.
So, Lovette.
Well, I'm not in the room now.
No, I went out.
Oh,
Are you-
people go out. Yeah, I'm probably like outside. I figured, waiting for the party to get moving.
All right.
Or
Right.
letting
So
the
you're-
dog pee.
So you're out, and Soul's out there as well, right?
I went into the area to look for Alec or Ask Book where our rides were pretty much.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll catch up with you in a minute then.
Yeah, don't worry about me.
Lovette.
Yes, are you ready to go?
Not quite. I was talking to Karis before, and did you blame Karis for Moira's death?
Before I say this, I want to let you know I don't want forgiveness for what I said. I don't deserve it, but... Well, I felt that way for a time, but I was trying to apologize for ever thinking that at all. The reason I have been so hard on her drinking is because I couldn't help but one though. But I don't blame anyone but myself.
Well, that's good, maybe. But I think you should definitely make sure Karis knows that.
Try, but I don't think I'm going to get through to her. I fuck everything up, don't I?
Well, there's no reason to keep it that way. The only thing you can do is try to make things better.
You're right. That's what Moira would always say.
That's what Moira would say?
Yes.
How well did you know Moira?
She was the closest friend I've ever had. We've been through a lot together, but it's only been a few months. Well, I suppose a little over a year. Most of the time. But I don't know if I can describe it. We were each other's only friends for many, many years. Other than, well, the two that you met.
Well, I know it's hard to lose someone that you care so much about. But there's also many, many powerful magic in this world.
Do you think that trying what the book said is the right thing to do?
What do you mean what the book said?
About extracting Moira's soul?
Well, I mean...
What do I know about when souls typically die?
I mean, different religions have different beliefs about it. Typically, the normal belief is that the soul passes to some sort of afterlife where they spend eternity in the company of their deity. That's usual. Some groups believe in reincarnation, where that soul is recycled into a new creature. Others believe that your soul goes and spends time with your deity, and then when your deity sees fit to it, sends you back to be reborn as another member of your same species.
Are these beliefs contradicting, or are they just like different plane?
Well, they're just different religions.
Right, but like, does universe have the capacity for religions to contradict one another?
You don't know.
Okay. Well, I would know if my character knows if any religions contradict one another.
Well, sure, religions contradict one another, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
then,
there's lots of different faiths. Like, they believe a lot of different things, but you don't know firsthand as to what actually happens. To answer your question, then yes, there are contradictory belief systems, and there are quite a few of them that really hate each other because of that.
I don't know what you mean by extract. I mean, guiding a soul back to this plane can't be... It's not the hardest, is it? People have been resurrected before.
I don't know. See, do you understand why there is tension between Markus and I right now?
I thought it was because you wanted to take Karis' side.
I think that someone might have neglected to mention something to Vera.
Oh?
So, I should get into the habit of being more honest and fair and not being biased. I'll tell you what I know. And what I know is Markus told me he has Moira's memories. I think there is plenty to extrapolate from that, but I will let you do that yourself.
And when did this start?
Not too long after you know.
And he just thought this was something that shouldn't be shared with the group?
I suppose.
How... He was by the side.
This is why I think Callis could have helped where you did not. Or could not. That did not. You tried. I appreciate it. And I appreciate everything Callis does. I'm not ashamed of her. But the way she saved our sister is so maybe I would be willing to endure that if it meant there was a chance.
So lucky I'm not there.
So, what is your course that you want to take from getting Moira back, if you plan to?
Whatever it takes.
Markus is planning on dying.
What?
Markus is choosing not to eat. If that continues, we may as well take the last opportunity to retrieve Moira's soul, right?
Did he say this when I was out last night?
Well, he told me when we went to the artificer. Artificer? No. Enchanter.
Enchantment.
Enchantment!
I mean, he did mention it last night with Soul, there, but I was too drunk. I wouldn't remember. I guess I take that into consideration. I don't know. Realistically, I don't think that I'm going to get my way. Anyway.
Well, Markus aside, you need to be clear on what you actually mean to tell Karis.
Well, I guess that's a good question, because I don't really know. I just wanted to tell her that I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to help her.
Just let her know that it's not her fault.
It isn't her fault. I never thought it was.
I mean, we know that, but Karis needs to know that.
I don't know that she'll believe me, but I'll tell her.
It's the best course of action that you can take right now.
But like, right now?
I mean, no time like the present, I guess.
I am not of that mind, but I guess time is of the essence. Despite this, Lovette just stands in place until Vera moves. Okay, let's go.
Alright.
We're going. Okay.
Are we both going towards Karis or something, or?
I'm going. I'll be late now. Okay.
now, Lovette.
Just kind of stand at the doorway of the room for a while, though. Because I'm like, is Markus still in there?
Okay, so you guys head back to talk to Karis, and I'm going to zoom over to the Royal Palace, where Sol was going in to try to speak to anybody. The gate guards stop you and will not allow you entry into the palace.
Really?
Really.
I need to speak to Alec or Book.
They look at you and say, those names don't mean anything.
Of course not. We were told that arrangements were being made to take us to the Steam Isle, and I'm just wondering where it is.
The guards look at you and look at each other and look back at you, and they're like, don't know who you are. No entry.
Sol turns back to go to the statue, I guess.
Alright, you go back to sit at the statue.
Out.
Meanwhile, back at the inn room, Lovette is staring at the door.
I was standing at the doorway.
Yeah.
Too anxious to go in. But I think after a little bit she'll muster the courage.
Okay.
First, gonna head over to Markus.
Okay.
Get that deal.
You go inside and you see that Karis is in there and she has prepped her things. She's packed up her goods and she's getting ready to go.
I'm gonna give Markus a kick. Markus, get that
Markus is awake. He is.
Yeah, she wanted you to leave the room.
That won't stop me from kicking you.
Any affection towards... So Markus tried to do a reflex save and got a nat 1.
Got a nat 1, so an 8 on your reflex save. So, Markus, you got kicked directly in the shin, and it hit right on a nerve. It bit.
Oh!
Fuck! I need to talk to Callis in private.
You stupid bitch! God damn it! God!
Slap him.
Wow.
The fuck did you just call me?
I'm glad I'm not there.
Shin!
So, while you two are yelling at each other, Karis walks out of the room.
You think you're gonna kick somebody in the shin and I'm not gonna call you a slur?
First of all, yes. What's all wrong with you?
I have neither the time nor the crayons to describe it to you.
What the fuck is a crayon?
It's like a wand of some kind.
Yeah.
They're elemental wands.
Elemental color wands.
Oh god. Markus just hobbles out going...
Karis left the room, by the way.
Yep. Let's just there with face palming like, oh my god, I can't believe that other one.
Sol.
Yeah?
You're sitting at the base of the statue, and Karis steps out of the inn and makes her way over to your area.
Well, I'm doomed.
Hey, Karis.
Good morning.
How goes it?
I've been better.
Am I talking too loudly?
No. It's weird. I actually don't have a hangover.
Oh, that's great. I'm glad.
Yeah, it's
Sol
good.
pats the ground next to them. Sit down.
I'll stand. Thanks.
Okay. Then I'll stand too. Sol gets up, and they kind of come forward and lean their head forward for a second, closer to Karis's. And then they put their dancing light in the middle of the two of them.
She kind of laughs a little bit. She smiles a bit. It's that's okay.
I know it's okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. It's my way of giving you a good morning hug.
Thank you. I've had a bit of a rough night, I guess.
Yeah, I heard you drank a bit last night. Everything okay?
Not really.
I'm sorry we were around a lich. I know that's really against your code.
That's not even what I'm worried about.
Okay.
I'm worried that sorry. I'm worried that Lovette hates me.
I don't think Lovette hates you.
She said something last night that I didn't expect.
Was she drunk?
No.
Oh. Well, Karis, Lovette's kind of rough around the edges, and sometimes she has a really bad way of explaining things, like, ever.
She blamed me for Moira's death, okay?
I'm sorry, what?
She blamed me for Moira's death.
It wasn't your fault, Karis.
I wasn't even there.
And you weren't even there, yeah.
And that's why she blames me.
That's dumb.
I never expected to hear that.
And she wasn't drunk?
No.
I'm so
I
sorry.
think she was. It's kind of fuzzy.
Notably, sometimes I think she's just mentally drunk at all times. So, but it was not your fault. 100%. And maybe Lovette worded it weird. Like, she really has a bad time of explaining herself bluntly.
I know it wasn't my fault. I wasn't even there.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes me angry that I was blamed at all from someone that I thought cared about me. I don't know. It's a lot to process, I guess. I think I will sit.
Take as much time as you need, Karis.
She kind of sits down and looks even more weak than normal.
Have you been eating? You had alcohol last night, but have you been eating?
I think so.
So, like, instinctively goes to, like, put their hand on her forehead and then stops. But since their hand's already hovering there, they put their dancing light in the middle. Just to pantomime it.
Karis kind of gives you a flat look.
Well, you're about the same temperature as always. So, like, it has, like, a stupid smell. You know what? We'll get you a really good food. How about that?
As you guys are talking and dancing lights and all, Markus is limping, kind of like...
Yeah, and I head out shortly after as well.
Okay, so now the rest of the group is out.
Hi, guys.
I went to pick up some ginger or like something to help Karis if we're going to be on a boat or something.
Wonderful.
We're such caring parents.
So at this point then, we'll say it's about 8 a.m. and
Where is Alec?
And everyone is outside in the forum in front of the palace. So the party's sort of gathered up.
Yep.
At least everyone's in the area.
Guys.
Markus goes over to Sol and flumps onto the ground, just very harumph next to them.
Okay. What happened to you?
Kick my shin.
Who kicked your shin?
Fat.
I really need Alec to be here. Sol just like puts their hands in their face.
Said she was a bitch.
You shouldn't call her a bitch.
She kicked me in the shit.
You still shouldn't call her a bitch.
I'm grumpy right now.
I only have so much mental capacity currently.
Beardy, is there a pancake vendor right around that I can go grab a pancake to feel better about myself?
I'm afraid
Also, Vera kicked me out of the bed.
Yeah, that's not mentioned, no.
Oh! Because that's normal.
That wasn't. That wasn't. It also wasn't the most recent trauma, so it's already fallen out of your mind.
He hasn't eaten in a long time. You forget things when you're like...
That's true.
When you're
anorexic.
You're not yourself when you're hungry. Yeah, we know.
I'm also not myself when I do eat.
Very true.
Oh boy.
It's deep when you think about that, right?
Yeah.
What is Lovette doing currently?
So I head out a little bit after Markus, visibly more glum than usual.
Mm-hmm.
Which at this point is probably saying something. Is Karis still?
Sol just looks over to Lovette and their hands are on their face. Their eyes are getting dragged down because of them just holding all this pressure on their face.
Karis is leaning up against the base of this pedestal, this enormous pedestal that the statue's built on top of, and is fairly near the rest of the party. Like, everyone's kind of standing around the same spot.
Okay. Lovette, please tell me you have explanations to tell people so I don't break my mind.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Callius, can I talk to you in private? We could have a place that is private.
Not right now.
Can I make a perception check to figure out who the hell is supposed to help us currently to get the hell out of here?
I come back with Ginger also by this point.
Awesome.
Oh, thank God Vera's back.
So Vera arrives with some ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone make a perception check.
God damn it.
I got a 21.
That's
I
16.
don't love it as much. Because I rolled a 14. Oh. Well, alright.
Alright, you passively perceive, at least Soul does, something. You hear a noise. A distant noise.
What direction?
From the southeast.
Southeast?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start walking towards that.
Okay. You start walking to the southeast, and the noise isn't really getting any louder.
Okay.
But the position is changing. Now it sounds like it's above you.
I look up.
Make another perception check.
Okay.
Only soul?
Only Soul.
32.
Alright. In the distance, poking around between a couple of clouds, you see the following.
Oh.
Oh my.
A giant-ass ship? Sky ship? It's an airship! It's an airship!
What you see is a wooden-hulled sailing vessel with traditional sails and masts across its deck, much like the one you sailed from Parthenae to Daraham. However, this also has additional sails coming off its sides that splay across like fins of a fish. And in the front of it, on the prow of the ship, is a sort of fan that spins rapidly. You're not sure what force is holding it aloft, but something is keeping this thing suspended in air. It's very quickly approaching your location.
Soul jogs back to the group and is just like, I think we should just move out of the open area. There's a sky ship coming, and I think it's for us.
Markus looks up and quickly snaps out of his grump and is just absolutely elated by seeing an airship.
I drag Markus by his collar out of the way of the open area.
Jesus, airship!
Markus
Yes,
is not
yes.
a man of many complications.
He is also
All right,
a man of
guys.
very simple pleasures.
Yes.
With a whooshing noise, this airship slows down as it sort of swoops into the central forum of the town and ends up hovering about 10 feet off the ground.
That's a lot closer than I thought I was going to get.
That's why I was moving everyone away.
The crew is moving around on the deck, and a ladder is cast over the side. It's a
Soul approaches
rope
it.
with wooden blocks to act as rungs.
Markus almost pushes Soul out of the way. He wants to get on the ship.
Jesus. Okay.
Markus wants to get on the airship.
A head appears over the edge of the ship. It's an elderly-looking face with a trim white beard, but with a friendly-looking smile on their face. Would you be the ones we're picking up, then?
To go to the steam aisle?
Come aboard!
Aye, aye, Captain. I think. Come on, Markus, get up.
Yes!
Soul gestures to the rest of the group to get on.
And we have archery, correct?
I think
Is
Lovette
that-
has arch.
Okay.
Yeah, where's Zero?
Under my arm. Well, I
Okay.
don't know. How big is she?
Still pretty small. I mean,
Okay. Alright.
growing, but still pretty small.
Otherwise, I can fly him up there.
Yeah, that's probably her the best.
Her.
So you guys climb up or fly up onto the ship, and when you arrive on the deck, you see that the crew is a mix of a lot of different races, and the face that was greeting you, an elderly gnome with, like I said, a trim white beard and a friendly smile.
He's cute.
This is
Best gnome I've met so far.
Jesus. Wow. Damn, well, that's right there.
I mean, half gnome, right?
Yeah.
That's
That's what you meant.
Yeah.
That's what you meant. Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, see?
Sure.
Say here.
Yeah.
Soul looks around to see if Alec is there.
You look around and don't see him.
Soul looks annoyed.
So how's that prisoner there, Soul?
Look, I made a deal with him.
Uh-huh.
I did.
Was it for his release?
No. He said I could tie him up at any time, pretty much.
Still kind of weird.
You and I are gonna have to have a talk, but first, airship!
The gnome introduces himself as Calcutic.
Oh.
Oh,
Ooh.
I love it. I love the name.
Calcutic.
Calcutic.
Calcutic. Very nice to meet you, sir.
Oh, quite nice to meet you as well. When one is given a personal invitation from the Queen, it's hard to resist. Welcome to the Agile. And he sort of gestures to the ship all around you. We'll be making way to the steam aisle post-haste.
How long do you think it'll take?
He sort of rubs his chin and thinks for a second. You think he's running calculations in his head. And if you notice on the continent map, the Steam Isle and Daraham are basically on opposite sides of the entire continent.
Yeah.
It's about as far as one could go. And he's thinking about it. 3 days.
Whew. Whew.
How many knots are we going to be doing in this thing?
Oh.
We call it the Agile for a reason.
Soul looks like they're gonna throw up for a second.
Is there something wrong?
No, I really gotta get some stuff done within a time limit, and I'm just panicking.
Let's lead these as fast as we could hope for.
Do you see a druidic gate anywhere?
Well, technically, he could take us to a druidic gate, and then Vera could take us to the druidic gate that's close to
Did
the
you
North
see
Lands.
what happened last time? Remember what happened last time we tried to use the druidic gate? Not your fault, Vera. Not your fault. But did you see what happened last time?
Wait, are you insinuating that it's my fault?
No, I said literally, not your fault.
Bathroom. Where's the bathroom?
Bathrooms are here. Anywhere.
Calculate. You just gesture over the edge.
Soul leans over and throws up.
Oh no!
We're still right over the town.
Yeah, you guys are 10 feet off the ground.
Marcus yells out, "Look out below!"
Calculate's like, wow, I've never seen someone get airsick before we even began moving.
Not air sickness, please.
Well, let's get moving as fast as we can.
Please.
You still Calcutic?
Ah, fellow gnome. Good to meet you.
Yes.
What brings you out all the way over here?
Mistakes.
Well, it sounds like you'll have some fun stories. What can I do for you?
I was curious as to your family name, if I perhaps know of you. Are you from this Steam?
Well, maybe originally, but I haven't really claimed that as my home for quite some time. As far as family names, he kind of waves his hand in a dismissive gesture. Don't really need them.
What kind of gnome are you? I mean, sorry. Well, that's... Well, what?
Lovette, you're a terrible liar.
What? I'm not lying.
Okay.
Marcus goes and holds Soul's hair back.
Ouch.
He's so short.
Some yanking some hair right there.
So you're basically throwing up into the air.
I didn't say it was a great idea. They're a vomit fountain.
Sorry, it was just a bit anxiety. I'll be fine.
We'll be okay, sir. We can make this.
Yeah. You know, it'd make this trip a lot easier. Some alcohol, but I can't, so...
Oh, we have a lot. But you still have your, what is it called, news?
Soul takes out the pouch and holds it out to Lovette. I can't use this. Have it.
Why?
I'm pregnant.
What?
I told you last night!
Was I drunk?
Were you blackout drunk?
What?
Should have called Grow. Jeez. Okay. Well, just take this muse. I can't right now. Not like this.
I suppose if you cannot,
I just don't want it to affect anything.
Okay, that's understandable. But if that's a lot process,
Tell me about it.
yeah. If you need anything, let me know, I guess.
Sure. I've never been this way before, though, so how am I supposed to know?
Well, just, if you feel like it, I don't know.
I would love it if the ship would take off.
Yes.
Is that possible, Calculate?
It's Calcutic, but yes.
Is it calculatic?
I'm sorry.
Just every time it's different. Calculator?
But again, not quite.
Calculock.
It's not even like Soul trying to be racist or anything.
Close.
They're just having a hard time pronouncing it.
Excuse me, kombucha.
That's not even close. Alright, well, everyone grab onto something. Takeoffs can be a bit rough.
Oh.
Karis
Marcus
hugs a mast. It just is...
Soul finds one too.
runs up to the bow to look over the front.
Alright, so there is this strange surging sensation, and you feel like this energy crackling through the air for a moment as the ship lifts itself off with some unseen force from the ground and hurtles through the sky. What you weren't expecting was the sheer wind force this thing sort of generates as you're on the deck. And it's almost impossible to hear anything because of the wind in your ears. And before you know it, the ground is far away from you guys. And the city of Hale is a small dot in the distance. You believe you finally get up to whatever altitude they consider cruising height. And not only is it extremely loud, it's also extremely cold from the wind. And Calcutic sort of is standing as if the air doesn't bother him at all, or as if he's not even being affected by it. He's not even being blown backward. He's just sort of standing in the middle of the deck. And he has a staff that he produces and then taps it a few times on the deck, on the floor of the ship there on the deck. And as if just the wind obeys his command, it suddenly stops. Like the wind just stops moving. You guys are still hurtling through space, but the wind just ceases. So he's created some sort of bubble around the ship.
I'm to assume that this is a very, very, very powerful gnome.
I didn't know you believed in powerful gnomes.
Well, I just haven't met the right one.
Ouch.
There's a lot of people in this world we still have to meet and kill.
Typically, the things an adventurer does, either meet someone or kill someone.
Sometimes both.
Sometimes both.
They're very, very lucky.
Well, not much to do now, but wait. So, there are rooms below decks. You're welcome to mill about the pier if you'd like. But, do be careful of the edge. A fall from this altitude would be quite fatal.
Markus, did you hear that?
I can fly.
True, but we wouldn't really be able to turn around and catch you in time, and, well, your fly would not be nearly fast enough to get you back on the ship, so...
No, I would have to get there myself.
I guess, if need be, Nah. I was gonna say I could ask Go to go and pick you up, but that would be weird. And plus, he only really knows where I am, not really where you are. So you'd be SOL anyway.
That's okay. I will stay away
But your
from
soul.
the edge.
Yeah, I was going to say for your SOL.
Wait a minute, does this guy get damage?
No. He suffers an immediate heart attack, and the ship crashes, and you all die. End of campaign.
End of campaign.
There you go. All right.
Also,
that's it.
I would really love to know how Calcutic came about owning this ship.
You could ask him.
How do you control this?
Next time on Dungeons and Dragons.
No!
Thanks for listening. As always, special thanks to Protagonist for the theme music, and Emily Roll for Fantasy for this episode's soundtrack. Please leave a like or subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and leave a comment if you have any suggestions. Until next time.